Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Fearfans podcast. I'm your host, Don Elmy, and with me is my co-host, Nick Millet. And once again, we decided to go over some underwater, monster movies. And we decided instead of like another shark movie, we decided to cover with probably the most successful ripoff of the most famous shark movie, Jaws. And this was released about 3 years after Jaws' release, so 1978, and it's the cult classic Piranha. And yeah, this movie created quite a legacy, Nick.
Yeah, I did. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath. I actually just came back from exercising, so uh, if you hear me breathing hard, it's because I walked and ran my highest so far, 26 laps.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, highest so far. So, but yeah, it's go on.
Here, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure that the comments are going through here on YouTube
Yeah,
so that we avoid last week's mishap.
yeah. Like I said, that it's like it's not obviously through the accounts. It's something through StreamYard. So I'm not sure why StreamYard does this sometimes.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
this time it's picking up.
they're coming through.
Okay, here
they are.
Okay, it works this time. Excellent.
Paul.
Hey, Paul, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, so we're covering a classic and also a childhood favorite of mine. I would believe I first came across this at a Blockbuster when it was on VHS back when I was a little kid, but never saw it until I was a teenager. And this I gotta say I was very interested in it from the get-go. Like I was thinking, oh, Piranha, I gotta see this when I'm older, and yeah, I ended up liking it a lot more than I thought I would. Yeah, I'm pretty fond of this film.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that until recently you hadn't seen it yet, Nick.
I did see many years ago the 2010 remake when it actually came out, but I never had the chance to see the original one yet.
I gotcha. But the 2010 remake is the good remake because, like I said, this film left quite an impact. You know, like at first, the production company almost got sued by Universal Pictures because they were just upset that they wanted to file a lawsuit for ripping off Jaws, like infringement lawsuit. But then Steven Spielberg stepped in and said, "Hold on, guys, I've actually seen this movie. I like it, so let's just leave it alone." And It's crazy how the director of this film, Joe Dante, this is one of his earlier films before he moved on to other great works such as The Howling in 1981, and also one of my childhood favorites, Gremlins, which had Steven Spielberg as executive producer. So first, Spielberg saves what?
And as I always like bringing up too, in 1989, then he did The Burbs with Tom Hanks, which again, I have to show you that. You showed me your movie from Joe Dante. Now I got to show you another one from him, and that's The Burbs. I'm telling you, you would love that movie. It's so damn funny to watch.
Hey, I imagine it is. Yeah,
hey, Big old Tom's in the house. That is true. What Tom is saying here is, I did they were doing an episode of Dom and Tom's World on Saturday. And they were making like a community chat, and I decided to come on for a few minutes. Well, obviously I told you, and they want me to do an intro for them, at the start of their show. So that's the reason why I said I had to go upstairs for a few minutes because I had to do this intro for them, which I couldn't say no to, at least in some way, because I haven't really been on Dom and Tom's World up until then. I thought it would be kind of cool to kind of do the introduction for another show. So you see, Tom knows what I'm talking about. This movie, The Bird.
Hey, anything that has Tom Hanks and Corey Feldman is worth seeing.
I was going to say this. I know you're not going to know this live, but Tom will know this. One of my favorite lines is, "Yo, Robsfield."
Okay.
You got to watch the movie to understand that.
Steven, absolute legend. Yes, he is. Yeah, he's one of the biggest. One of the biggest pioneers of Hollywood. Like one of the trailblazers of Hollywood. That's what I'm looking for. Absolute legend indeed. Oh, hey, Leon. Thank you so much for tuning in. And hey, Leon, as you can see, the comments work from my YouTube channel work this time. So,
see, Tom knows what I'm talking about.
But so Joe Dante,
Bruce Dern is in it too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, now I definitely got to see it. Yeah,
And
so Joe
Corey
Dante,
Feldman,
he's done. Yeah, in Corey
he's in
Feldman.
it.
Yeah, so Joe Dante has done. Yeah, so Joe Dante has done all kinds of great work, including, like I said, Piranha, Gremlins, The Howling. He directed, let's see, Small Soldiers. I remember when that was in theaters. Let's see, he directed this film called The Hole, which my cousin Allie had starred in. Yeah, like man, I gotta watch that movie again soon.
Seriously,
You,
you never told me that.
I didn't tell you she that Allie was in that.
No, no, you haven't.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, one day I'll just show it to you soon. But yeah, she
Yeah,
also let's see, he also made let's see, Burying the X, another comedy film. It starred Alexandra Daddario and along with the late Anton Yelchin. Yeah, man, Anton Yelchin, an actor gone way too soon, man.
yeah.
Yeah, but so what the whole
Go ahead, Lab.
not
The whole he's
not what not
referring.
what not what you think, Tom.
He also made. You also forgot to mention one other thing that Joe Dante worked on. This was more recent. Well, actually, in the early 2000s, he also I think he did one or directed one or two episodes of Masters of Horror for the Showtime series.
And he did. Oh, I also forgot to mention he also directed one of the segments of Twilight Zone the movie. And yeah, and Steven Spielberg also directed another segment. So that's another collaboration between the two. It's like first Steven Spielberg saved Joe Dante from a lawsuit and then ended up working with him.
Right, right.
Awesome.
Oh no,
And
not that hole.
oh, for God's sake. And so and yeah, so like I said, Piranha left quite had quite a legacy over the years because this film well made so much money like despite being low budget and left quite an impact on Hollywood and its audiences. But then it led to several things: a terrible sequel, a terrible remake, but then a good remake, but then that remake gets again another terrible sequel. And this second film, where these genetically mutated piranhas had not only are able to survive an ocean, but then are able to fly, like they grew wings.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one
And
that
yeah,
Don's referring to. Tom saying the good
yeah,
remake.
the good remake from 2010. I remember when that came out. I was just about to start college. I remember,
I, I
and
was I was just about to start my senior year in high school when that came out.
yes. And so, who would direct a flying killer piranha movie? It was none other than James Cameron. Yes, James Cameron, the man who moved on from this and then directed Terminator, Aliens, The Abyss. Let's see, Titanic, and Avatar. Some of the biggest blockbusters of all time. And he started his career directing a movie about flying killer piranhas.
Who would have guessed? But then again, you have to remember though, like you see this on a lot of these really bad movies, is that um, for the most part you get a lot of these guys that work on these really bad movies that eventually become big stars, not just with actors and different types of actors. It same even goes for the director and other some crew members.
Yes. And I think piranha are more scary than sharks. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Piranhas like attacking in swarms of opposed to one big fish. It's a bunch of little fish. Another classic series, Twilight Zone, with Dick Miller plus several other actors and directors. Yes, that is correct. And
So,
let's see. Hey, Billy, thank you so much for tuning in. What did you think of the 2000s 3D movie? I liked it. It had a great cast. Elizabeth Shue. Let's see. Oh, and also Christopher Lloyd, who's a national treasure. And
yes.
and what's interesting is it stars Stephen R. McQueen, who is the grandson of legendary actor Steve McQueen.
And let's not forget too that Richard Dreyfuss is also in the beginning of the remake
Yes.
too, which you can
Yep.
clearly tell that's paying homage to Jaws. I mean, you can very well say that he's basically back to being his character. He's even singing the song from
Show me the
Jaws.
way to go home. Yes.
Yep,
He was singing that song, "Show Me the Way to Go Home." So
that's right.
this Piranha started up as a ripoff of Jaws, but then the remake got a Jaws actor. So full circle.
Almost like as if it was like one universe, like the Piranha and Jaws universe existed. Like it's the same universe. Jerry
Yep,
O'Connell was in
Jerry
it too.
O'Connell was in it too. Yes, I remember him as well. I first saw him in Scream 2. He was good in that too. Let's
Well,
see. What
Tom,
was I gonna say?
here's what he could have started his career worse than Flying Piranhas. Could have been Killer Tomatoes, or worse, could have been Killer Pickles.
Well, but see the difference. Yeah, I mean, both films, Flying Piranhas and Killer Tomatoes, both films were intentionally bad. You know,
Yep.
Piranha 2 had to have been intentionally bad. I mean, come on, you really think you're going to make a big success with flying killer fish?
What's going on,
Even
Sarah?
yeah. And let's see. Oh, also, one redeeming quality that Piranha 2 does have is that it stars Lance Henriksen, who would go on to work with James Cameron in other films such as Terminator, Aliens, to name a few. Oh, you mentioned before about how big actors start off in small bad movies. Well, the first remake of Piranha from 1995 is an example of that because it stars 11-year-old Mila Kunis, her film
Yep.
debut. In fact, I think I saved up. There's a picture of here. Hang on, let me pull it up. Mila Kunis Piranha.
While you're doing that, I'm going
Here,
through the
I got it.
comments. I like while you're going. Oh wow! Oh yeah, I remember you showed me that before.
Yeah. Mila Kunis, 11 years old. This was her first movie. She never actually talks about this movie in interviews, but from what I've seen in that movie, I can't say I blame her because it, it was basically like just a simple rehash of the original, just no originality, no suspense, and that also I hated that they just used underwater footage of the piranhas attacking from the original movie because they were too lazy to do anything different.
It's stock footage.
Just stock, yeah, exactly, stock
Yeah.
footage, and any subplots that they threw into that, it would just didn't really add much to anything. So
I'm
yeah,
going through the comments right now. I like this. Check this out. I don't know if you saw this. It was who said this earlier?
James. Too bad he
No, it
doesn't make
was
much movie.
no, go ahead. No,
Oh,
not this comment. I mean,
oh
no,
yes,
continue
I know.
reading, but
I know exactly what he's talking about. Dick
yeah.
Miller was in this movie, Piranha. Like Dick Miller, he's like one of those actors that you see, all kinds of movies where it's like, oh, hey, hey, look, it's that guy. Like mostly he played like uh secondary characters or just like background characters like or like sorry cameos like he was in Gremlins, he was also in The Howling, he frequently worked with Joe Dante, and also he was one of the most memorable bit parts that he did was in the Terminator where you've seen the Terminator, right, Nick?
I
Yeah.
was just thinking that actually.
Yeah, he had just under a minute of screen time. He played a gun store owner who was ill-fated at the hands of Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator. He goes to the gun store to buy a Uzi 9 millimeter, and along with the shotgun and the handgun that has that laser pointed, yeah, that had the
The 499
laser tab
auto
flare
loader.
attached to it.
Or I think
Yes,
that's what it was.
the
I'm not as
raising
good
all
with
the
the
leather.
accent, but
Yes. I'm terrible with it too. I'm not the best, but that's my best Arnold for you guys. But anyway, sells him all that stuff. Well, and by sells it, I mean he takes it and then with the auto shotgun, he loads up shotgun shells that were on the counter. And then Dick Miller says, "Hey, you can't do that." Arnold says, "Wrong," shoots him. And
which, by the
as much as
way,
it, yeah,
go ahead,
I mean,
finish up, and then I'm going to tell you something. Go ahead, go on.
okay. And it's like as much as I felt bad for Dick Miller in that scene, I mean, you're kind of asking for something like that to happen when you're putting shotgun shells on the counter. I mean, that cannot be safe business practice.
You kind of just took part of that. I found out that's actually considered illegal to have shotgun shells right next to that. I mean, it's still illegal, obviously, to this day, but that was also like that too back in 1984. So he wasn't even
Yeah,
supposed to have them there in the first place.
yeah, like it's a terrible idea to leave live ammo like in a box on the counter where anybody can take that and load a gun with it. Like it's a terrible idea.
No, you do that, you could actually lose your job over it. So
You could.
that's yeah, you can. It's not just dangerous. You can lose your job. You can get fired for it.
That's true.
Um, One quick thing I just want to point out what I was going to say was something that Mr. Leon had said here. He said that he thinks piranhas are more scarier than sharks, but Sarah, on the other hand, though, says sharks are scarier than piranhas. So, got two different opinions here, oppositely.
What this right here that Sarah says is true. It's Teddy Roosevelt's fault that piranhas have a bad reputation. Yes, that is true. The 26th president Theodore Roosevelt was spread, the lie that piranhas are vicious man eaters because he took a trip to the Amazons and he was introduced to piranhas when the natives. Yeah, I think the story is that like some Amazon natives let a cow into a river and then the piranhas just devoured that cow. He then let's see, I actually have it. I think I actually have that saved on here. A window. Let me pull that up here. Oh, here. Okay, so here's what this article said. The 26th president of the United States visited South America in 1913 and witnessed a group of piranhas devour an entire cow. He called them the most vicious fish in the world, and his tales of these tiny blood crazy fish began the myth that piranhas are dangerous man eaters. So yeah, it's the former president's fault that we label piranhas as killers.
But they
Piranhas have
are
scissored
still
like
they are still dangerous regardless.
yep. There was a remake of Piranha in 1995. Yes, I'm afraid so, Billy. This was a terrible remake, and like I said, probably the biggest redeeming quality that has is because it has Mila Kunis in it. And yeah, what's so bad about it is the effects were terrible, acting was just schlock, and they kept reusing footage from the first movie. And this movie, I believe that it wasn't released in theaters. I think it was premiered on Showtime, like one of those premium channels.
Direct to TV.
Yep. So
So Killer Tomatoes doesn't count as a Jaws ripoff. I don't know.
no, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Now, Tom just said Jerry O'Connell was in a lesser known show called My Secret Identity. Wasn't bad. Well, was bad, but good. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up with all the comments. What's up, DJ? Uh,
Hey, DJ.
Solio Moon Fryer, Pinky Brewster herself is in the 1995 remake.
Yes, she was. I believe she was one of the camp counselors. Yeah, because so to sum up. Oh, here. Oh, Nikki.
Hey, Nikki. She actually reached.
Yeah,
I think she just messaged me actually, so I'm gonna reach back out to her.
yeah. Let's see if anybody wants to join. If Nikki wants to join, if Tom wants to join, yeah, let's send them. We can send them links.
Yeah, I'll send them.
All right, cool.
Um,
And
let's check this.
so yeah, for
Sorry,
those of
go
you
on.
who
Go
haven't
on.
So, for those of you who haven't seen the Piranha, the original version of Piranha, the premise of it is that two backpacking teens in southern Texas have gone missing, and it's in connection to a top secret military experiment facility. And so, a skip tracer named Maggie, apparently, skip tracers, I didn't even know what that word was until I saw this movie. It's where they find missing people. So, basically, a private eye teams up with a local town drunk to find these teens, but when they come across this facility, they accidentally release genetically mutated piranhas into the river system, and they have to try to stop these piranhas from getting to the summer camp and the newly opened resort that are on that river system. So, and oh yeah.
Sarah's like, it's Texas. I'm not surprised.
Oh yeah. But I gotta say, like while it did have beautiful sets, like the scenery, everything, like it was nice, but it just didn't look like any part of Texas I've been to. I mean, because
Yeah.
I've been to Texas many times because my college girlfriend was from Texas, so yeah, I've been to Houston, I've been to Galveston, beautiful, beautiful places, but the locations in this didn't really look like Texas.
It
Yeah, I
looked
don't know,
more
but
like, I think I remember saying it looked more like, honestly, looked more like Indiana or Ohio to me than Texas because of the cliffs and stuff like that's what I've seen in Indiana, but not really like, I never would expect something like that down in Texas.
oh yeah.
And Billy, to answer your call, oh, yeah, they're 100% real piranhas. Asking piranhas are even real. They are. They do exist. Maybe not like what you see in the movie, but they definitely do exist. And they're not man eaters, but they're still extremely dangerous. So don't mess with them.
No, but they have disproved that piranhas are like just viciously attacking anybody in sight because there was a show that I saw a couple few episodes of back in the day called River Monsters. It was hosted by this guy named what's his name, Jeremy Wade, who was like an expert fisherman. And so he actually in the very first episode that focused on piranhas, he sat inside of a little pool that had red bellied piranhas the piranhas showed no interest in him at all.
It is true, though. I mean, what Sarah just brought up. I mean, very much like sharks. However, piranhas can sense blood in the water up to 2 miles away. So,
Yep.
but yeah, they usually don't. And you know what? It's funny you brought it up because I was actually just seeing. I just saw something about that earlier this morning. Funny enough, when I got to work this morning, it wasn't piranhas, but once again revolved around sharks. And believe it or not, Don, it was actually on our local news station, WGN, and we don't really get stuff very often about sharks and piranhas on our our news station. So
No.
they were talking about the same thing, like with sharks too, is that we believe, even though they didn't talk about piranhas, they said at least for sharks, people I think have probably actually been swimming closer to sharks more than we think, because with what we have nowadays, like with drones and stuff like that, like people like you've seen those videos, like drone videos of like flying over beaches, right? Or
Oh
people
yeah.
in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with those drones, it can detect anything, not just only people who are in the water, but what else is swimming with. And that probably could be the same case, obviously, with piranhas. So, believe it or not, we've probably been swimming closer to these predators more than we obviously thought. You always think that you're in the clear, you're safe, and that there's no sharks or piranhas around you. The reality is, there very likely is a case. Anytime you've ever swam on a beach, you may have had one just swim right by and not even know it. And that it comes to that conclusion once again, very much like with piranhas. In the case of sharks, that they're not man eaters.
No.
In the case with sharks and piranhas, the way how I kind of look at it is they probably will notice that we're in the water. They'll swim up, they'll try to get a good look at whatever's in the water, if it matches their interests or not. But once they fully see exactly what it is, they real that's when they that's when it sends they come to the realization that we're not on their menu, so they will just swim by and just go about their business. So if
Yeah.
that's if
Besides, piranhas like are more likely to attack something that has like I don't know, like an open wound or something, like a source of blood coming from, like
yeah, just
that
like
that
sharks or
yeah,
a dead animal.
exactly. Yeah. That would be a more likely scenario than a piranha than just going after anything that goes in the water. So,
The only other, they actually made a it's just a lot of times it's usually just mistaken identity when these attacks occur. So, it's funny you brought this up since I saw something like that on television earlier today. And this, to be clear, it wasn't obviously anything to advertise for Shark Week. It's just something that they've been talking about in the news. So that
mhm,
was really fascinating. I
that's
actually
right.
had to stop. I actually had to That was actually right at the beginning of my shift. So I actually had to give up 2 minutes of my work time just to watch it because I know it was just going to be like really short.
Oh yeah. Oh here. Should have just gone
On
electro fishing.
electrofishing, is that even a real thing?
Unfortunately, yes. Just
Seriously?
I mean, you've seen it on the Simpsons movie where Homer just tosses in a
I mean, I know from the Simpsons movie, but I didn't know that was a real thing.
if something like that could happen on it seems like something that people saw on the Simpsons and tried themselves.
Do they? I gotta ask that. Do they electrocute themselves and they were chewing on the fish?
Likely. It's possible. If people are dumb enough to actually do like take a big like one of those bug zapper things just like toss it in the water and then put their hand in there while the water's electrified. It's like people like
Oh my
Homer, like
god!
it's like it's like if anything, it's like if people are like think the same way as Homer does, like not have the slightest clue as to how electricity works, then it's like wow. Oh man. But here, I wanted to bring up this right here. Billy, we were about to get to this. That the movie was produced and financed by Roger Corman. Oh man, that guy's a legend with B movies. Yeah, he's responsible. Let's see. One of my bigger favorite things he's done was Little Shop of Horrors, the original one from 1960. And yeah, that's B movie that had a small budget with made within 2 days, then grew to be a off Broadway musical, then adapted into a 1986 film musical. then became Broadway again and is performed by high schoolers in plays. It's you know, Roger, a small film that left a huge impact.
He
Anyway,
also did. He's most remembered, however, though, from the 1960s when he did 8 movies based on 8 adaptations of Edgar Allan Poe, which all but one of them starred Vincent Price, which
oh
he
yeah,
was a very good friend of his. And also, yeah, he was, and he also at one point was even offered at one point to even help. I don't know if he was set to direct or produce, but he was even offered at one point, I think, even some kind of association with the movie Silence of the Lambs with Anthony Hopkins, because they said that was a movie that he should have made. Hey, Warren, great to see you.
hey, Lauren.
I've heard, if you didn't know, Don, I'm her adopted son now. It's a long story. You would think we've as a spa treatment.
What?
I don't know what to say about that one, but check this out what Lauren had said.
I
She's
haven't
had
seen.
him swim under her in Bermuda while snorkeling.
Oh, wow, man, that's crazy. Don't get
That's
aggressive. Go near.
sidetracked.
Yeah, don't get aggressive unless you go near their eggs. Oh, I think she's referring to Piranha 3D, like when they find like the piranha's nest, the eggs, then they get attacked. Let's see. Oh, here. Special Agent Carter Sauce, thank you so much for tuning in. I would be scared to go swim with a lake full of piranhas. Well, yeah, I mean, kind of would be iffy because you don't want to have any. At least don't go in there with an open wound, where they can smell the blood. So,
Yeah, they're because like sharks, they can smell them from long distances.
yeah. No, electrofishing is used to stunfish study. I mean, yeah, I know. I was just kidding. I was just like,
Yeah.
I thought, oh, this would be a good idea to reference that scene that both Nick and I are familiar with from the Simpsons movie. Electrofishing. Yeah, I meant that as a joke, Sarah. I knew what you meant by that.
She also makes a good point. Another thing about piranhas, they don't get aggressive also unless you get near their eggs.
Right. Oh, here.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, oh, this was another one from Tom. The remake with Rick Moranis was better than the original, but he is biased.
Tom, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that because not only was it a childhood treasure of mine, but yeah, it's one that I cherish even as an adult.
Um, he also said at one point, mistaken identity. Oh no, that wasn't a piranha, that was a trout. Hey, what's going on, Clark?
Spider,
Spider.
Spider Pig.
What's
Classic.
going on, Clark?
Hey, Clark. Thank you for tuning in.
And then what Sarah here says, my mistake is
Dr.
Cara
Coy.
Rufa,
Oh,
Doctor. What?
here. Let's just. Oh, yeah, I read about that. That Arnold Schwarzenegger was not originally meant to be Terminator.
That's right.
Yeah, Lance Henriksen. Yeah. Okay,
Motion
let's.
is a trigger too.
I would go fishing with explosives. Oh, oh, so like Wednesday, you know, when she was fishing with grenades alongside Pugsley. Yeah, pretty sure that civilians are not allowed to have grenades. So yeah, good luck with that, guys.
Well, don't forget he didn't Wednesday also use piranhas in the first episode of Wednesday.
Yes, he did. Yes, good call. Yeah, good call. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's true.
Using against those bullies.
Yep.
Yeah, they do. They do smell blood underwater.
Let's see.
You go fishing, swimming.
Fishing or swimming? Yeah, I've done both. Yeah, I just got back from fishing up in Wisconsin. Yeah. So yeah, let's get back to the
I got one final. There's one final question here. It's Lauren. Okay, yeah, of course I love South Park. Obviously, you like South Park, right, Don? That's Lauren's question right here.
South Park. Yeah, I do admire it for the way it challenged censorship on TV. Challenging like the limits of what you can do with a TV show. So Trey Parker and Matt Stone do have my respect for that. Even though there were one or two times where they did something where that just made me feel like, really, guys?
Yeah, well, that's South Park for you. What do you expect? They're going to do it anyway.
Wait, here. Okay, they're asking which Piranha original or remake had with Doc Brown. It was the 2010 remake that had Dr. Brown. Yeah, Back to the Future, because I just loved like Christopher Lloyd's energy in that film. Like when he said, "This particular piranha vanished off the face of the earth more than 2 million years ago." When he said that, I'm just thinking. When he said that, I thought, "Great Scott!"
Maybe it takes place in the same universe too. Now that means Piranha, Jaws, and Back to the Future are all in the same universe. It's official.
Could could be, could be. Your guess is as good as mine. Break their teeth and try to bite me. Oh man, yeah. That was another Superman reference I'm making. Oh, and here's another fact: piranhas, they don't chew their food; they just swallow the whole thing. So that's how they're able to eat fast. You know, like
Clark,
so when
I've been watching South Park since I was 12. I think a lot of us were. So
same here.
18, just because they said it's supposed to be under 18 or 17 or whatever, that wasn't going to stop us.
Yeah, I feel sorry for what happened to Michael J. Fox. Oh yeah, because because of his illness that he's had.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sad about that. You know, I feel bad for the guy. You know, I mean, this took a heavy toll on not just his acting career, but his life overall. Yeah. Hopefully, they'll find a cure soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Man, the comments are they're just coming in so quickly. Holy crap.
I know. Oh yeah, I think I've heard that. Yeah, they're like
A puka
puka.
or
I think they're supposed to be. Yeah, Parkinson's disease. Yes, that's what I was
yeah,
thinking.
Parkinson's.
Parkinson's. Yeah, that's a bad one. Oh, he's referencing Christopher Lloyd right here. First blight draws blood. Blood draws the pack.
Which is actually true though for real piranhas. What they
Yeah, that
always do. Like, God,
the one part of that movie that's accurate.
yeah, it's like it. In reality, with they always how they always like swarm up is they'll usually send. I usually like to call the leader or the lookout of a piranha swarm. Sometimes they'll send two or three at a time, but usually it's just one. But when they see something that might be of interest of something of its food source, it's like a pheromone with insects. They swarm up and they have, I guess you can say, dinner is served for everybody because that's when they eventually bite and they feast on whatever it is that's something that might be a food source for them. So it's actually it is accurate that it in the case like with what the doc says in the remake.
Yeah, that's that's what the two teens in the opening scene learned the hard way when they're yeah. So the movie starts off with David and Barbara, two like a backpacking couple. You know, teenagers. They're hiking a trail, and then they come across a fence that says, let's see, what did it say? Uh, government facility, no trespassing. Yeah, like yeah, fenced area, no trespassing. Basically, everything about that place just says stay the hell out.
Yeah.
So, but of course they go in anyway. And then David and first Barbara's like very reluctant, and David said, "Come on, no one's gonna catch us. Besides, a little law breaking will do you good." And I'm just thinking, you're an idiot. It's like
Well,
why? It's like why even break into a top secret government lab like this? I mean, it's like whether it's in movies or in real life, it's just the kind of scenario that's just never going to end well.
yeah, and if they say getting a little trouble is good, right? Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good part to have as a criminal. If that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, the thug life. Yeah.
Like Area 51.
Like area. Yeah, that's the only thing worse than breaking into a facility housing experimental fish. Yeah. Yep, they did come to get her. Her and her yep, they're coming to get her and her boyfriend too. Yep, and that's exactly what happened. They broke into the facility. They came across a little what they think is a swimming pool, but it's actually like a fish hatchery. And when Barbara dips her hand inside the water, you like see this red eye opening. I thought that was I always like that moment. And then they dive right in, and David is like says, "Barbara, I'm getting bit. Something's in here." Like, and then he gets devoured, and then Barbara again gets killed after that, like trying to escape, and then like she almost gets out, but then goes and just sinks into the water.
Yeah.
Yep. And so these piranhas, it turns out that they were actually a top secret government experiment, like a bioweapon called Operation Razor Teeth, that the government was like using to infest Vietnam river systems during the war. And so this film takes place in 1978. So this was a few years after the Vietnam War ended. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, so the way the doctor in the film explained it, who, by the way, there's a character named Dr. Hoke who worked with these piranhas. He's played by Kevin McCarthy, who I'm familiar with for his performance in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And he also did a cameo in the 70s remake.
Right, right. And Sarah makes another good. She has a lot of knowledge on this. That's misleading. Fish don't have eyelids,
Yeah, I guess they didn't know that.
and it was the 70s. What do you expect? And also, nothing like like a loving couple committing a felony.
Yeah, breaking into a top secret government facility, that's a serious felony.
If it's like breaking somewhere else, it might be a misdemeanor. But if it's something involved in the government, yeah, that is true 100% felony right there.
Yeah, and the guy and like David, like they were even discussing like David and Barbara when they were like approaching this place. They were just like, I don't understand why this wasn't on the map. And she like David said, oh, maybe it's just top secret. And I'm just like, you think?
Yeah. Oh man.
Doing something like this gets you one place, jail or even worse. Yeah, you'd be in jail or dead. But in their case, dead,
Well, eaten alive. Put it that
eaten
way.
alive. Yeah.
Let's see here, and then right here, every time I think of piranhas, all I can think about is the Travelocity commercial involving the piranhas. I don't know. Have I ever seen that one? I don't know if I ever did. I've heard about it.
I think I've seen it. It was like ages ago.
Yeah, I don't. For some reason, I can't remember what that one is. So I mean, I'm sure, of course, obviously in this day and age, there are like commercial websites, like it's on I think like iSpot or whatever it's called. It's I'm sure it might even be on YouTube. I'm sure it's probably around here. Oh, Travelocity Gnome. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say I'm sure it's probably around here someplace. And look at this, what Lauren just said. Makes you wonder what their last words are. This bites.
And cue the CSI Miami opening scene. All I need are the sunglasses. Oh man.
Nikki said that. Do you see Nikki in the backstage? Because she just messaged me.
Oh,
You see her?
no.
Yeah, Nikki. I just got. Hang on one second. I don't know why it's not showing.
Yeah, that's odd.
Here, let me do this quickly. I'm just gonna step out for just a quick. I'm gonna refresh the page, so I'll be back. Bear with me for just a second.
Okay, I'll stay on here. Okay. Yeah, he'll get this taken care of. Let's see.
Oh,
Everything
no,
good?
that's weird. That's never. I don't see her.
Yeah,
That
she's
never
not
happens,
showing up
right?
on her. Here, try sending her another link.
She said that she already clicked on the link.
Huh. Let's see. What was I going to? Oh, yeah, here. Reality bites you. Yeah. Are there naked or topless women? Oh,
Uh,
yeah. There are a few. There are a few in this, but it's not as bad as in Piranha 3D.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
because Piranha 3D, because you got to remember Piranha 3D that takes place, where there's spring break. Like
yeah,
you know how crazy college kids can get during in like spring break.
yeah. I'm, I very crazy, probably even crazier. Yeah. Just no comment on it. You know what? Actually, that actually reminds me of a funny joke. I will tell you. It actually was Fanguli, believe it or not, who said this. He once
Oh,
received a phone call. He said, "What? You saw nudity in this movie? Which part?" No, I mean which part of the film?
oh man. Oh, here, Billy's asking, will you do Piranha 3D on the podcast at some point? Yeah, well, I would like to do that. I'm thinking about maybe like Nick, I'm thinking maybe we could probably do that next week.
Yeah, we could probably do it next week. I'm gonna send her. She just actually messaged me. I'm gonna try to send her the link again.
Yeah, let's see.
Here, you continue on with what you're doing while I try to handle this problem. So continue on with what you want to. I mean,
Okay.
what do you want to talk about?
Did you eat the fish you caught? Yes, we used to. There was like this one lake that we used to eat the fish. We mostly was like walleye and let's see, crappies. But the thing is, too many people have been catching them, so they've been putting out like a catch and release law until they're able to repopulate the numbers. So
there we go.
So they've been. Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, glad to have you on.
Thank you. Keep going, Don. What are you saying?
Oh no, I was finished.
Tom's going to be coming on too, but he's only going to stay on for just a little bit though because he's got to get to sleep early.
Oh, I got you. But hey, regardless, it would be good to have him on here as well. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, Nikki, have you seen this movie?
Yes, I have. Yep, when it first came out.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow, nice. Yeah, like because yeah, this yeah, like this is like one of the biggest like cult B movie films of the 70s, and it's got its place in history for being probably the most successful ripoff of Jaws because ever since Jaws came out, everybody wanted to cash in on the success. They kept making shark movies that had the same concept, the same like formula, but Piranha did something totally different. It's like sure there were like resorts and like that, and then killer fish, but the thing is, it didn't deal with a giant shark. It dealt with a whole school of genetically mutated piranhas. And what I was actually impressed with the practical effects in this as well. Like the piranhas were actually puppets that were used, like similar to Jaws, but these ones were much easier to control than that giant mechanical shark.
Yeah, no, that's one of my favorite movies that I've watched. So, yeah.
What's also impressive too is that you really cannot even. It's kind of crazy to think you can't even really get a good like view of the piranhas themselves. Like they're mostly in shadow and they swim really fast, which actually I think is really quite impressive because when you do something like that, especially for a prop that is like may not look realistic on camera, if you have it hidden in some way, that actually makes it more realistic. Sometimes it actually even makes it even creepier because it's one of those techniques that you're kind of masking these monsters, if you will. It's that's like right. still paying homage to the unknown terror of what's in the water.
Yeah, that's right. And so, yeah, because the piranhas, you barely get a glimpse of them, like when they're attacking people, like underwater, like because they're just when they attack, it happens so quick. They're just like,
and they make this weird noise too. This like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it sounds almost like a sound involving maybe because of their mutations. I don't know, but it makes this weird, bizarre noise when they attack.
Yeah, let me see if I can come across. Maybe I can find a sample of that because I actually would like to have you guys hear what these piranhas sound like when they're attacking. Hang on.
Yummy toes.
Now, Sarah, while Don's looking, Sarah's got a question. There are a lot of water-based horror movies in Australia. Oh, 1 second. Big old Tom's in the house. Whoops.
Oh, well, you took me right out.
That was my fault.
You should get the hell out of here, man. What the hell are you doing in
here? Normally, when I do these shows, I usually use a cordless keyboard. Unfortunately, the batteries died, so I have to use the actual keyboard itself.
Oh,
yeah.
Isn't that a shame? Mine's wired, so it's always been wired.
That's why he was 3 minutes. That's why he was 3 minutes late.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm just.
No,
I
had to get another bottle.
You know,
hey, Nick, I'm just messing with you, man.
I know, but don't worry, Don.
Oh, you mean
it's not the first show I've ever been late on. Talk to the other shows.
Oh, here, I found it. You guys wanted to hear what these piranhas sound like when they attack people? This is like one of the main things that I never forget. The sound that they make here.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, because that's exactly what piranhas sound like. You know,
apparently when they attack people, they sound like that. But at least in this movie, yeah,
in this universe.
Look at Lauren, guys. Look what Lauren just said. I wonder what type of floss they use. Oh, I know, human floss.
Oh, oh man.
Oh Lord.
They use the G strings.
Um,
Yeah.
Nick and his dead batteries. I hope he never ended up in a horror movie. Exactly.
It's just weird. I don't remember Christopher Lloyd being in that one. Like,
Oh, he's in the 2010 remake.
Yes.
maybe that's why. Maybe I never saw the remake.
The remake is worth seeing. I mean, it's actually the remake. Fun fact: it actually set a new record for most fake blood used in the movie because the previous record was about 500 gallons. Piranha 3D used over 80,000.
What movie was the previous record?
I had a hard time finding it, but I was told that the previous record was about 500 gallons.
Because I do know that the Evil Dead did use quite a bit.
Oh yeah,
Evil Dead 2, actually.
Yeah, it did. But I don't think that was 500 gallons. But
they used a lot when they filled that room, though.
Oh yeah,
like after he shot at the walls and everything, and then it just like came. I mean, granted, it was black, but it was still supposed to be blood.
Oh yeah, for sure. And let's see. We were talking a little bit about how the piranhas in this film, you could just barely get glimpses of them when they're underwater attacking people, like because they just move so fast. You know, it's just like when they're attacking.
Sped up foot, like you were saying, they reused a lot of footage.
Oh yeah, like you could see them like silhouettes that pass through, like those schools of them. But here, let me pull up. There was like this one shot that I had to freeze. I had to pause the movie when I showed Nick this. And when I showed Nick this movie, I had to pause it at one point where they were inside of the lab and they saw like the piranha. Where we see the piranha inside of a jar.
Yeah. Sorry, no, I'm not laughing at that. I'm speaking of what Lauren just wrote down. Don, you should have watched this show last night. Speaking of G-string, it was what Lauren's referring to was, long story short, it was actually one of the other networks I'm a part of, Simply Spooky. It was their
were you wearing a G-string? Because if that's where it's going, we don't need to hear it.
No, it was their 3-year anniversary last night, and we had this guy. I know you guys don't know him. His name, you guys might have seen him on some shows. His name is Grizzly Chris, and I don't know how we got to the conversation of G-strings and stuff like that.
He's just going.
If you watch it, you probably understand. You'd be laughing your asses off. It's so damn funny.
Yeah, this is like one of the still shots. I mean, they didn't actually show this in the movie. I think this is a production shot.
Yeah,
but
that's Carl from Sling Blade. Mm-hmm.
That's what the piranhas look like in this. And I think I actually have some behind the scenes. I came across some behind the scenes footage here. If I can go to the right section of it.
While you're looking for that, at one point when you were talking about Christopher Lloyd being in the movie, I was actually typing it out and I could not get it fast enough before you actually referenced the Great Scott. I was like, God damn it, I just was typing that. Damn it. I erased
it. Oh, this
beat you to it, huh? Oh man.
Hey, Nikki, the attachment you sent me, for some reason, I just got it, but for some reason it's not letting me get into it. Every time I'm clicking on it, it says page not found.
That's okay. To answer the question for Sarah,
I want to get back to
horror movies in Australia. We have Blackwater, which was filmed in 2007 and it was based on a true story in Northern Territory. A pregnant woman. We also have Blackwater Alias, which was filmed in 2020, Northern Territory. Storm Boy. I'm just Googling what I found. The Last Wave. That's not. Aftercraft, which was based on a true story.
A lot of things are based on a true story, and I've said it before. Even Return of the Living Dead was based on a true story, but very loosely.
Well, you know what? Believe it. Even a movie like we've talked about before, even a movie like Jaws, there's even like partially based
Well,
on a
that's
true
more
story.
believable than Return of the Living Dead. You know, I mean,
Well, if you look at something like Jaws, like that's if you look back to the true story behind it, it's based on the Jersey Shore attacks that occurred back in 1960. I mean, essentially, Jaws is the Jersey Shore shark attacks of
I wonder which
1960. It's just
Jersey Shore it was.
it was somewhere I don't remember exactly where, but it's essentially those are the attacks. Only difference is it takes place in the modern era in the
I have
70s.
to look
But
that
there's
up.
even one mention in the movie. They actually mention about the Jersey Shore attacks of 1916.
Yeah, they do mention it in the movie, yes. And it's crazy because Peter Benchley actually said in an interview like that if he had known the true nature about sharks, he never would have written Jaws.
Right.
So, yeah, because I guess he just felt guilty about how the movie Jaws like led to people wanting to hunt sharks. Yeah.
Beach Haven on Long Beach Island of southern coast of New Jersey.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm honestly I'm surprised that the piranha didn't have that same kind of similar response to where people wanted to kill piranhas.
Yeah, I'm sure that I don't think that many people would have wanted to travel to the Amazon just for that purpose.
Right. Yeah, we don't have much of a problem here with the piranhas in the States.
Well, it was probably still released to different countries throughout Central and South America.
I would think.
So maybe not.
But they're not as stupid as we are here. You know.
Oh, check this out, guys! What Lauren said. Her son, the one who lives in Guam, still has no running water from the damage from the typhoon that hits.
Wow.
About a week ago now, or no, almost 2 weeks ago. Jeez.
Oh.
I saw your comment, Lauren. I just looked at it.
Yeah, I just showed this.
I wasn't looking down when you showed it. I think I was on the other screen looking up Jaws.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll get water back going. I mean, hopefully they'll have running water soon, Lauren.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we're having an issue here with smoke from Canada or something like that. Like our entire neighborhoods are like filled with like smoke and stuff, and it's supposed to be even worse tomorrow.
We've gotten it too. It's
well, yeah, you're closer to Canada than I am, aren't you?
Well, yes, you are closer down to. I mean, obviously, you are closer to Canada, but you know, because there's so much smoke coming from these forest fires up in Canada that it's basically covering a good majority of the United States.
Actually, smell it today.
Like we couldn't later in the night. You see in the air.
Yeah, we smelled it here. It's weird.
Oh, here, Lauren is saying, Tom, where are you located?
Philadelphia.
Lauren's, I don't know exactly. I'm trying to remember exactly where she lives down in Virginia. So she's not terribly. I mean, I know it's far, but she's not terribly far from you.
No, Virginia's not that far, really.
Oh, here, like guys, I found
6-hour drive.
Hey guys, I found it. There was some behind-the-scenes footage that I found where it demonstrated the way they used the puppets for piranha. Like they had them on a stick, and they had them like the piranha's like attached to a stick, and there's like a trigger on the end. Like they pull that trigger, and it controls the mouth, the opening and closing of the mouth. So
I'm a piranha on a stick.
That was just so damn random.
Wow.
On a stick.
Yeah. Here, I found it. Okay, so here, you guys seen this? Okay, here's what it is. So there's no sound. So
oh, wow.
Yep, that's then. Yeah, see how the fast they're moving? You couldn't even get a glimpse. Oh, and there's other part I wanted to show.
They had to move fast because otherwise you'd see how hokey it was.
Yep. And so there's this sector right here. Remember this, Nick? The where the limbs were bitten off, or sorry, the skin was bitten off of the legs. Yeah, simple technique right here. The actor right here had his. They dug a hole for him to put his legs into, where right up to his knees. Then they attached those fake legs onto where the knees are.
Wow, that's
really should have just stood straight up.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of looks like an old Tommy Chong.
Oh
no, man!
Nikki, I got your I got your
Oh,
dad.
man.
So all this talk about
Yeah.
true stories, the movie that Black Water.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell it, Nikki, or do you want to tell her?
You can go for it.
So Black Water, it's inspired by the true story of a crocodile attack that occurred in Australia's Northern Territory in December 2003. A pregnant woman, along with her boyfriend and her sister, take a boat tour on a mangrove swamp where they are terrorized by a ferocious saltwater crocodile. So that's all it says, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't say what happened afterwards.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
look, man, I was
Yes,
not
I've
old
seen
when
this.
I was young, man.
Oh, you're from here.
Man.
Hey,
I mean,
remember
Hey,
Hey,
those?
no, man, no, you were young when you were old, and you, yeah.
Oh man, seriously, I loved him in that '70s show.
Oh, Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tom, here's what Lauren said. She's in Ashburn, Virginia, which is about 30 minutes away from DC.
Oh.
All right, so it's probably about like 4-hour drive at most from Philly, something like that.
Not too terrible.
No,
Right here. I remember those shark grabber toys with a stick. Yeah, I remember those too.
20
Oh, yeah.
Steve.
Classic.
Classic
misdirection.
misdirection.
Oh, referring to the effect that they did with what was Jack's legs. Yeah, because there was this one part of the movie where when the piranhas get into the river system, they come across the one of the main character, Paul, his friend Jack. Jack was like with his dog sitting at his dock, his feet in the water, trying to fish. And I'm just thinking, and good news is that he's trying to like fish, but having a hard time with it. But good news is the fish will be biting. But bad news is that in his case, it won't be a good thing.
I am Jack's eating legs. Sorry, that was a Fight Club reference. That was,
Fight Club, good one, good movie. Yes.
Piranhas on a stick is a jalapeno on a stick.
So
they're spicy.
Yeah.
What's this?
So-
Black piranhas have jaw strength 3 times stronger than an alligator. Never heard of black piranhas before.
I have.
I've heard of the red belly ones, but not the black ones.
Now there's several different kinds of piranhas, not just one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like and the whole thing with Jack,
Clark
it was
Kent.
roll control piranhas.
I don't know if I could.
Yeah, it wasn't really remote controlled piranhas. They were actually controlled with a trigger at the end of a stick. Like controls their opening their mouths. Yes, and so yeah, I gotta say that Jack having his leg, like all the skin from his legs bitten off, like from the piranha, that was gruesome. Like when they show what happened after, when he dragged himself and just bled out, and it showed like those legs like eaten down to the bone. I'm just like, these piranhas, they're not playing around. And there was that one scene. Oh yeah, there was that one scene where there was like a father and a son on a like fishing off a canoe. Like something happened with their line. He got his arm like when the father tried to get the in entangled, he got his arm tangled in it too. And one thing that I noticed there is that they had like a 7-Eleven cooler. It's like it's crazy because not only was 7-Eleven, it's amazing how it survived all this time, but also the logo has not changed. That's something that Nick, you pointed that out when we'll watch this.
Right.
Yep, it has never changed.
Oh yeah, and and like so, the most gruesome, probably the most gruesome scene of all of us was like the scenes where at the summer camp and the resort, the newly opened resort. It was like its opening day. The whole thing was run by Dick Miller, who played what was his name, Buck Gardner. Yeah, he played a resort owner who was conspiring with the military to cover up the piranhas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it involves that top secret government, theme too, is where the government's trying to hold it, hide off everything to avoid panic. So that's the first thing I said. You remember, Don, when we were watching, I see what's going on here. It's the government.
I had to look up who Dick Miller was. I kind of had a feeling who it was when you first said it, and I looked him up. I knew it. As soon as you mentioned Gremlins, I was like, I know who that is.
Gremlin.
That's the guy who seemingly died in the first one, yet somehow was still alive in the second one.
Yeah, I guess getting run over by a crane or whatever that was is not.
It was like a combine or something.
Like a combine, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and then of course we also brought up earlier, of course, Well, actually, it's probably worth bringing up anyway, since we're briefly talking about Dick Miller. Is also sadly, of course, he passed away a couple years ago.
Yep.
So, although he was like in his 80s, I think, Don.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was old for a while.
Yeah.
Even in Gremlins, he was up there, or at least he looked like it.
Oh,
anyway.
he was middle aged.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with
Wow, he
he
just looked
also
old.
did Terminator that same year too. So you would definitely.
That's right, the Terminator. That's right. Come on.
The gunshot scene. We were just discussing that earlier.
Don knows how to do some of that accent.
Because when I heard you do your impression, I'm sitting here literally physically saying, I'm like, that's right. Come on.
Damn it. We should have had you on during that time.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh,
but if I was going to be an actor and I was going to have the name Dick, my last name would have to be Johnson. I'm just saying. Dick Richard
Your first
Johnson.
name Big.
Oh my god.
That's right. I'm referred to as the Big Dick. We're just talking names here, so we're not.
As you always say, Tom, you're just saying.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, if people can name a fish Slippery Dick, then you can get away with that too.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, really, Nick. There is a fish named that.
I know there is. It's just funny, just the name of it.
I am Dick Richard Johnson.
I think you're all right there, Nikki.
Yeah, this just got.
Yeah, all good.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the price you pay for having me on. I'm just saying.
Okay. Like I said, if they can name a fish that, then you can get away with that too. So,
yeah, why not?
Yeah. So, and they had those at the Shedd Aquarium. That's how I know about it.
But if it's going to be Big Dick Johnson,
Okay.
then that's the porn name.
Okay, moving on. Okay, so so I did like the effects that they used for like blood effect for gore effects, because they actually were good for what it was during the time, the late 70s, and the way they depicted the piranhas attacking people like that, they like it showed like gashes on people. Like I pointed this out to Nick, like that when they were at the resort attacking people, there was this one boy that walked out with a big section of his back completely eaten off.
Yep.
So yeah, Nick,
Back
you're
in the
turning
70s and the early 80s, a lot of the B movies had like some of the better effects, more better than like the mainstream had, like the bigger movies and stuff like that. They actually had hokkier effects.
Yeah, like practical effects. So a lot of them, if done right, can really age well, over time.
That's right.
Yeah,
I think more people need to use them and stop relying on CGI, because CGI sucks.
Well, for the most part, yeah. But we were discussing last week on The Shallows. We were actually talking about how impressed we are with how this CGI crafted shark was so nicely detailed. Good, it was, so CGI can be good if done right, and it's hard to do it right.
They used a certain element of that in, say, The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
There was some CGI going on there, but there was also practical on top of it. And it worked out for the most part, especially just for a TV show. Mm-hmm. But I think the practical ones are just always so much better.
Oh yeah, like I love The Walking Dead. I remember when it first started, Halloween night while I was in college, freshman year. I remember that well.
I just actually had a memory come up the other day from that. A meme I posted where it was Rick talking to Carl, and it was like right after Carl lost his eye. And Rick said, look on the bright side. You can now play peekaboo with Judith and just use one eye or one hand.
Oh.
I think I remember that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and Lauren, to answer your question, yeah, I am turning red, which, by the way, I'll be right back. I need some water after all that. I'll be back in just a second.
Hey, Nick, you should be following my example, man. Have a drink right next to you.
Usually I do, but I didn't think that this was going to go into this. But, It's typical of such shows. So I'll be
That's
right back.
the notorious Nickhead. You know.
Oh man. But yeah, like this I like to think of this as like the Jaws ripoff that Steven Spielberg had saved, because we're mentioning this in the beginning that this film almost had a lawsuit on it from Universal Pictures, because they didn't like the idea that this was ripping off Jaws. They wanted to tear this. They really wanted to tear those guys a new one for making this film. You know, like take them to court, all that. But Steven Spielberg stepped in and said, "Guys, I like this movie. Like, these guys have something good going here. Let's just leave them be."
Yeah, I mean it's different. It's not like a huge great white shark. You know what I mean? It's a school of man-eating little fish. You know, it's different. I mean, if that happened every time, when a movie was like somewhat similar, I mean, imagine how many lawsuits there would have been through the years.
Yeah, exactly.
With different horror movies, even drama movies, romantic movies, like all that stuff. I mean, it's it's just like with comedians, stand-up comedians. Every one of them rips off the other ones. They take jokes, they recycle them, they change them a little bit, but you know what I mean? And that's just the way entertainment is. Because
that's true.
Like that creativity comes from copying people who you love, basically.
Yes, I always tell people all great work is derivative. Everything is inspired by something.
I mean, yeah, you do get like new stuff that comes out, like something completely different than has ever been done before. But then that just means you're going to have some copycats that follow. And it can go across different genres, you know, like we were talking about, like in the comments, the Little Shop of Horrors. Well, those little things that come out in Super Mario Brothers, those little things that come out of the pipes, do they not look like the Audrey 2? I mean,
Somewhat,
come on.
Yeah.
You know, everybody
like,
takes stuff from everybody. It's just the way it goes.
Oh yeah, Nick not being prepared, that not going to happen. Says it's a big ocean. Yes, it is. You know, like all kinds of different fish that can be used in horror films. Oh, here, Sarah said lampreys are scary. Yes, lampreys do have a intimidating appearance because they have that suction mouth with all those teeth, but they're actually harmless towards humans. And it's like they are not, they're not less, vicious as their appearance would make them seem. But apparently someone didn't get that message and made a horror film out of that, which also starred Christopher Lloyd.
Great Scott!
It was called Blood Lake Attack. I think it was called Blood Lake Attack of the Killer Lampreys. It was like it premiered on Animal Planet, and
1.21 pints of blood. But sorry, that was really bad.
You're good.
Man.
Let's see. Who else was in it? Shannon Doherty was in it. I'm not surprised.
Oh, Brenda, really?
Yeah.
And thank you, Lauren.
Let me see.
Yes, I was gonna say she subscribed to youtube.com/this is Tom's World.
That's right. No punctuation, no spaces.
No apostrophe.
That's right. Yes. This is Tom's World. Enjoy the videos. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, here, Nick, I was just mentioning there was this comment right here saying that lampreys are scary. What would you say if I told you, Nick, that there actually is a movie about killer lampreys?
Seriously?
Yeah. And it also has Christopher
of the killer lamprey.
No, and it also has it's Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, it also has Christopher Lloyd. I'm surprised that he of all people would be in it.
Oh God.
Wait, Zach Ward is in this? Zach Ward is attacking the lampreys. Scott Farkas from Christmas Story is in Attack of the Killer Lampreys.
Oh, totally different. And we may have talked about this before, but did you see the new one? The Christmas Story?
I didn't get a chance to. I didn't get a chance to, but I will.
It's not bad. It really is not bad.
I was going to say it's definitely a far more better sequel than the 2012 one.
Oh, that with the dude from Home Alone.
Oh,
in it.
Yeah, Daniel Stern.
That was horrible.
Yeah, Daniel Stern. Oh God, that was a mess.
That was
Nick went to the
horrible.
store. No, I just ran upstairs quickly.
No, this was actually really, really good. And he's in it. Scott Farkas is in it. He's a cop.
I'm hoping, obviously, for this upcoming holiday Christmas season. I'm actually kind of glad I waited till, because I plan on watching it this year. And this year, of course, marks the 30th anniversary of the original one. So it will be perfect timing to see both films, the original and that one.
They have all the original people in it, except obviously for the guy that played the dad.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone.
What the hell's his name?
I know who you're talking. I can't remember his name.
Yes, that's the one.
Oh, yeah. Blood Lake.
Yeah, it's terrible.
God,
hang on. Where are you?
Yeah, that one is bad. That movie's bad.
Uh-oh. Out of all of you, who is the oldest? You know what? No, actually, I've always said about Tom is Lauren, Tom, he is 35 years old. He is divorced, and he lives in a van down by the river.
I'm actually 48 years old.
Huh?
I'm actually 48 years old, but we'll go with 35. I'll be 35. That's fine.
Down by the river.
I could do that. Darren McGavin, that's the guy's name. There we go.
Yeah. So the protagonists in Piranha, it's like hard for us to think it's like sure they did the right thing in the end, but at the same time, this whole thing is a big part of it is their fault because they were trying to drain the pool, thinking that David and Barbara had drowned in there, but by draining it, they released the piranhas into the river, and this is what led to all those people dying.
Yep.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
and your boyfriend. Yep, they'll get you, Barbara, and your boyfriend too.
And your little dog too. Oh my God!
That reminds me. 2 weeks from today is Lauren's birthday on the 20th, which is on a Tuesday this year.
Oh,
wow! And she'll be 54.
When did this turn to a
so? All right, you win. You're older than
dating
me.
Video. I don't know what she's talking about.
So my name's Tom. I live in Philadelphia. I like long walks and no, I'm sorry. I'm taking.
Oh man, you're killing me.
Oh yeah, and Nick, I wanted to show.
What, Don?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nikki.
No, you go. It's all good.
Oh no, I didn't hear what you were saying. I just wanted to have you. Okay.
So what were you gonna say, Don?
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to bring this up. When they first go into this lab of this facility, there was before it showed what the piranhas look like, there were like a few of these mutations that they were experimenting with. Here, let me just put it up on the screen here. Share screen. Ah, here it is. Like they showed stuff like this on there.
Yeah.
Like stuff like this roaming around, and
we looked something from Ghoulies.
Yeah, it's like an eel of some sort.
Yeah, we looked at this, and we
got something else. Which
yeah, we looked at this. What? I would pick.
Joe, I would pick
my
Tom.
mind is just going in a very wrong direction.
Oh man.
Check this out, Nick, what Lauren just said. Oh, she is out.
Uh-oh.
No, she's still there. She's had.
You're right, Nikki?
Good.
Okay.
Yep, all good.
All right. And so when we saw this in the movie, I was just like, kill it with fire. So the government experimenting and creating abominations of nature. So what else is new?
Joe. Oh my God.
Hey, Joe. Oh, hey. So great to hear from you.
We haven't seen it. Well, I know you and I spoke on the phone about a week ago, but it's great to see you again.
Isn't it weird? Nick has shorter hair than me now.
Yeah, I know, but I'm hoping it grows back real quick.
Well, mine is getting a little long. A little bit.
Oh, how cute that is! Oh, you're referring to the one of the piranha mutations in this. Yeah, I guess
Looks
it
like
could
a
be.
turd.
Looks like something out of Jim Henson's Creature Shop. Well, actually, there was one of these mutations that was like roaming around that lab in like stop motion animation. That I'm just like, what's with these effects that they're using here?
Which we
Looked
never
like the
did see
turd from
whatever happened to
Caddyshack
it.
that was floating in the pool.
Oh
No, it's good.
My God. Yeah, Caddyshack,
we
classic.
never did find out whatever happened to those other mutations in Jaws. In Piranha. You only saw them from the lab, and then you never see them again. Like, whatever happened to those other mutations?
Hopefully they were killed by fire. Why didn't the lab just have drain hole covers? Well, the thing is, this pool, the drains were like sealed off. It's like they just flipped up a switch, this lever that causes the water to drain out, like a typical pool. So like there's a lot of pools that function like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just like one of the faulty parts of that pool is that they could drain it and it leads into the river and the piranhas go into that river. Tom, you look like Mo.
See, doesn't he kind of look like Mo from the Three? I was gonna.
I think I look more like Norman Reedus, to be honest.
You know what?
Because Mo never had a goatee.
You know what? I just realized something because I'm just going to bring this up quickly. Tom, when I was younger, I actually used to have this buzz cut. And when I used to have it buzz cut, people said I actually looked like Curly from the Three Stooges. So if I had it buzz cut, that'd be perfect. We just need someone to be Larry, of course.
That's right. Well, my son has very curly hair. It's just really long, so it looks more like Weird Al. So,
here. DJ Evan C says, my top 5 black and white horror movies are Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Oh, yeah, like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. We mentioned that Kevin McCarthy from that is in this. He was the hero in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. He plays Dr. Hoke, who worked on creating these piranhas for the military. Because, Tom, what they were going to do with these piranhas, they were going to infest the river systems in Vietnam during the war. But then the war ended and the project got shut down. And so they poisoned the piranhas. A few of the piranhas survived, and this doctor continued experimenting with them.
Well, also being more biased towards the 80s, I like the Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Donald Sutherland. Just that scene at the end that
came out the same year as Piranha, 78.
Same year.
Yep. Was that 70s or 80s? That was 70s.
That was same year, 1978.
Wow, I thought that was the 80s.
Oh, it was 1978. Right. There's 3 remakes of it.
I have no idea.
Yeah, there's 3 remakes of it. The first one was in 1978. There was another remake in the 90s. Let's see.
I didn't like that.
Let's see. Yeah, that also had. What was it? Oh man, what was his name? That actor who had that weird eye. Who was he?
Forrest
Whitaker.
Yeah,
Forrest Whitaker. Yeah. So. Yeah, he was in that, and there was also that remake from 2007, The Invasion, that had Daniel Craig.
Yep.
Yeah, I just like the one with Donald Sutherland for some reason. That was the first one I saw, and then when I saw the original, I'm like, "This is hokey as hell. I don't like this."
It's still a good movie either way.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum was in that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
Veronica Cartwright. Yep.
And to answer your question, Lauren, it was actually a buzz cut I had back when I was younger. I gotta find a picture of me with that.
I used to get them up until I hit puberty, and then I stopped because then I started growing my hair out, and then I made it long, and then now I'm making it long again, so I'm reverting a little bit, but
So, like one of the. Yeah, I wanted to bring this up. One of the subplots in Piranha was that Paul, the main character, his daughter Susie was at the summer camp that the piranhas are heading towards, and she has like an intense fear of the water. Well, I pointed this out when like that the remake, the 1995 remake, as god awful as it is, cannot stress enough how bad that is. Like it does feature 11-year-old Mila Kunis playing that role.
And
Yeah.
5 years later, she was on that '70s show.
Exactly.
And then a few years after that, she was on Family Guy.
Meg Griffin, yes.
Shut up, Meg.
Shut up, Meg.
Shut up, Meg.
Oh yeah, that's another movie we got to cover. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yeah, somewhere down the road we'll.
I was gonna say, wait, we're gonna cover something about Meg.
Giggity, giggity. Oh
yeah. Yeah, Tom, we're definitely gonna have to have you on when we cover Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1970.
Yeah, I love that movie. I do.
Oh, yeah, it's a great one. Veronica Cartwright was also in it. You know, she was in my all-time favorite horror film, Alien.
Yeah.
And then don't forget, she was also, when she was still a kid, she was also in The Birds.
The Birds. Yep, The Birds. Yeah, she played that little girl who got those two lovebirds.
Yep. And then who's the actress that was the one with the dark hair? You know what I'm talking about?
In The Birds?
No. In the remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Brooke
Adams. That's who I'm thinking of.
Oh, Brooke Adams. The woman. I didn't know if you were talking about a guy or a woman. I didn't know.
No. She was also a few years later also in a Stephen King adaptation. Not necessarily a horror film, although it has some. It's more of mystery, I think, than horror. And that's actually a David Cronenberg film, the Dead Zone.
Oh yeah,
Cronenberg's. Hey, Morty. We're in the Cronenberg universe. Oh, Rick, I don't want to be here. I saw it. Man. I had to do it.
You got it, man. You got it.
Yeah,
hey, Morty, don't worry about it.
Oh man, that never gets old. Never.
No, it never does.
Yeah,
never has.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, shut up,
Lauren agreed.
Morty. You like Meg? Shut up.
Yeah. So, Nikki, like, how many of these Piranha movies have you seen? Because there were several over the years. Just the one?
Just one.
Okay, because the sequel to this was released in 1981, which was directed by James Cameron. We mentioned this earlier, that directed by James Cameron, and the piranhas now have the ability to fly in it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, they were mutated with like crossbred with genetically crossbred with flying fish, so they now have wings.
Although still not as ridiculous as The Exorcist 2, where she dreamed about flying all the time.
Oh, jeez. Oh my God.
Oh man.
That was a horrible
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Followed up by the best of the Exorcist movies, 3.
Yep.
With George C. Scott.
A complete insult to the classic.
Exactly.
So, I'm just going to.
Yeah, the second one, don't even bother watching if you haven't seen it. Don't. It's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm glad
as far as I'm concerned, the third one is the second one.
Yes, exactly. Oh, man. Sequels are just hilarious to me. I mean, it depends on what sequel, because there's one sequel that is just absolutely unbearable. I had to just repress it completely from my memory. You know what that sequel is, Nick?
What's that?
It's not a horror film. Oh, actually, it can be considered a horror film just because of how haunting the imagery is. And it is Son of the It's Son of the Mask.
Oh.
Oh,
that was with what's his name?
Jamie Kennedy.
Jamie Kennedy.
Jamie Kennedy.
I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah.
Although there have been fan made things that went that took the story on that I found online. Like it actually goes backward in time to show like the creation of the mask and things like that. That aren't bad. I'll have to see if I can find those links and send them to you because the videos are not bad at all. I actually watched them wanting more.
No, Sarah, that's the original mask. He's not in Son of the Mask.
Oh yeah, I wish he was.
And it really has nothing to do with him whatsoever.
No, it doesn't. The only thing like out of that is just the mask itself, and that's everything else. There's nothing. There's nobody.
And the dog is somewhat similar.
Yeah, the dog is a little bit similar, but
like
other than that, there's nobody, no cast from the first movie that reprises any type of. Although once again, I mean Loki's in it, but he's not in the first movie. He's mentioned about it, but he doesn't make any.
They say that he's trapped in the mask, and the videos I was talking about show how he gets trapped in that mask.
Yeah,
and that's actually interesting.
Check this out too, by the way, guys. What Lauren said, she has a photo of herself standing on the stairs that they used to that they use in Exorcist. She's going to send me a photograph of it.
Oh, nice.
That's
awesome.
That's in. Oh my God, why can't I? I'm blanking. I usually know where that is.
Hey, I've had those moments too, man. So hey, it's all right. You're good.
It sucks. I know the feeling. I've had it too.
Yeah. Here, Nikki, I wanted to ask you, like you mentioned the movie Blackwater, right? What about
Washington D.C.?
Oh, Washington D.C.
Sorry.
Oh, nice. It's all right. It's all good. You're good. So, Nikki, there were you were talking about this movie earlier from Australia called Blackwater. It's there was another killer crocodile movie that I do enjoy that's from Australia called Rogue. We mentioned this before on the podcast. Nick, you have yet to see it, but yeah, like one day we're gonna have to do an episode covering that because yeah, that's a movie worth seeing. It has Rhoda Mitchell and Sam Worthington. It's a good one.
Yeah, I'm really surprised I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, is your mic working, Nikki?
Don't forget about sometimes
no, she's muted.
She muted?
Yeah, she might have it muted.
Oh, okay.
You can unmute her though.
Well, sometimes it's
sorry.
No, you're
fine.
See, very quickly, just got the photos from
Sorry about
Lawrence.
that.
If you guys don't mind, I'm going to share the screen rather very quickly. Even I haven't seen these myself. Well, I just got it, but I haven't actually looked at them. So let's take a look for ourselves.
All right, let's see it.
Oh, check it out.
Oh. Okay.
Oops, wrong way.
So I'm going to get
There we
really
go.
close. I can't see.
That's them.
Oh, wow.
Yep, those are the stairs.
And it has absolutely nothing to do with the house that the things were filmed in, because I was in a different location.
I know.
Wow.
You really haven't changed much.
No.
Incredible.
Same as it was almost 50 years ago.
Same as it ever was. And look where my hand was. Sorry.
Very cool stuff, Lauren.
It's so good.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I want to go there at some point just to check them out. My dad has told me before that he's been there.
Oh, really?
When he was younger, he actually got to walk down those stairs, and he thought it was like kind of a surreal experience. After seeing Father, what's his name, like fall all the way down them.
Yeah.
And then he resurfaces in the third movie.
Yeah, he does. He was not fully dead.
Damien.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Was his name, I think, right? Father Damien. Something.
No, it was a different name. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
I'll find out.
She makes a good point here. You definitely get your workout climbing those stairs.
Oh, I imagine. It's like so many movies are now famous for like so many location stairs are like famous because of for movies such as this, like The Exorcist and let's see.
Joker.
The stairs. Yeah, from Joker. I was just about to mention that. Ever since Joker came out, everybody was going to those stairs and doing the dance that that Walking Phoenix did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, his name was Damien Karras in the movie.
That
Father Damien Karras.
That's right.
So I was right.
Yeah. Your mother's in here with us, Karis. Would you like to leave a message? I'll be sure that she gets it.
And then the guy that played the body, or that played the killer that inhabited his body, wasn't that Chucky? The guy that did the voice for Chucky?
Brad Dourif?
Oh, Brad Dourif, yeah.
The Zodiac killer, I think, or no? What was it? Was it the Zodiac?
No, it was what was he called in that? Don?
Let's see. Yeah, because to be honest, I never really saw like Exorcist 3. So
you haven't seen Exorcist 3. Are you
You
serious?
have to see.
Oh my God,
Exorcist
it is
3.
I'm telling you right now, Don. It is. Everybody will say this. It is a far more worthier and better sequel than the Heretic one. Obviously,
It won't the Gemini killer.
The Gemini killer. Yeah, and it has. I don't want to say too much, but it's such. It's just like a very dark, smooth kind of film, and has some of the creepiest looking nursings you ever seen. But more importantly, it has literally one of the all-time greatest scares in any movie ever. I mean, it's just one of the best scenes movies I've seen. That scene with the music, it just freaks you out. And one person
it actually made me jump.
One person actually said, I don't remember who said this, but it's literally one of those scenes that after you watch it, you actually have to go to the mirror afterwards to see if your hair has gone white, because it is so frightening when you see it. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. And one person, another guy once said that he saw it in the theater during the summer of 1990. And when that scene came up, the whole audience just like screamed in terror. And it's very rare that you see that in movies nowadays. But yes. I'm not going to say what it is. I can't. You need to see it for yourself.
Oh, yeah. And here, Nikki, you were asking if we've seen Open Water in the comments. Yeah, like I have seen. I remember when it came. I remember when that came out in theaters back in 2004. Man, I remember.
Wasn't that filmed off of Australia, or was that in a different part? Was that off of Australia, I think, or was that somewhere else?
Right.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was Great Barrier Reef. The Queensland.
Great Barrier Reef. Oh, so that's more closer to
and talking about that.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember where. Okay, yeah, I think I know where that's at. Oh, it's Coral Reef in Australia.
Oh yeah, Great Barrier Reef, and that's also yeah, and that's also the setting for another Australian film that I just thought of called The Reef.
Yep,
another shark movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you also think about it too, I mean, but some people know this, some people know this already, others don't. But like we always bring up a lot, even a movie like Jaws, if you actually look at some of the filming locations, some of it actually was filmed again off the coast of Australia when they did the live shark footage that was shot. Like, yes, most of it was shot in the United States, but when they shot because if you notice, like some scenes, like for example, like the shark thrashing around, there was no way the mechanical shark could have done that. You could clearly tell that was a real shark they were using. And what they did was they shot that in Australia. And when they did, like, for example, like the scene like where the sharks come close to the camera and supposedly Richard Dreyfuss characters up there, that wasn't him. That was actually a scuba diver, taking Richard Dreyfuss's place. And the idea was that they wanted to do it. They wanted to shoot it further away, but still have the sharks come close to the camera to give the illusion that the sharks were like monstrous size compared to a person.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what was that?
It's the Jaws theme. Cotton music.
Oh God!
Hey guys, Nick has said that he's never heard Baby Shark. Ever.
You had to bring that up
Shark,
again.
Hang on 1 minute. I've got the rock and roll version of it. 1 minute.
Oh boy, here we go.
Hang on.
Oh,
I was going to bring it up, but if you're going to bring it up,
this is the metal version.
Metal version of it. Baby Shark.
Yeah.
Okay, that actually is a cool remake. I do like that. If it's something metal, that's going to be something good to hear.
Oh man.
Mommy shark, mommy shark. I hated that song with a passion.
My daughter loves that one.
Oh yeah, my niece and nephews are crazy about that song.
Here's the very annoying one. Oh god.
Yeah, it's
If it's
became.
over,
It,
hang on.
I mean,
No.
the official video, for that song is now the most watched video on YouTube.
Are you serious?
The most watched YouTube video should be from This Is Tom's World.
Yeah, that's right. From This Is Tom's World.
Yep,
It
exactly.
must. It has to be.
Oh man, but I wanted to talk about the ending and like, yeah, I wanted to mention like as the Piranha were like heading downstream, like attacking the summer camp, like there was a tragedy in that summer camp, like where one of the counselors was killed. Nick, like you remember this, like when Susie like bravely, who was scared of the water at first, but when saw all the kids and being attacked, then when she got like a raft to get like the people, the survivors on the boat, but the piranhas like punctured one of the inner tubes that a counselor was on, a counselor named Betsy, and then Betsy got dragged under by the piranha, like bloody water. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
That was
like
a gruesome attack.
Yep, and on top of that, when our heroes arrive to the camp and like to say and just say like see the carnage that had just occurred, and then they see like there was a body that was covered up. Presumably, it was one of the campers, because I doubt that was Betsy's body. You know, they couldn't have just gone in the water and got her out of there. They couldn't have. Please hear hear the original Baby Shark. You will understand our pain.
This baby shark thing isn't going to go away. It's just going to keep bringing. It's going to keep being brought up in every episode. Don, I'm sorry to tell you, it's going to be brought up in every episode now. It's official. It's not going to. This isn't going away.
Yeah, there's actually one thing.
Well,
hey, Jill. Hey, Jill. There actually is one way we can make it go away. I've been telling Nick this. Here's the solution. If you want your kids to stop listening to Baby Shark, show them Jaws. Yeah. Yep. Here's what you do. You show them Jaws and just tell them that's what Baby Shark grows up to be. Done.
There you go.
That's it.
It ends.
That's it.
It goes away. Well, I'm gonna jump out, man, because I got to get to bed because I got to be up in like 6 hours.
What do you got going on?
Work.
Yeah.
Jeez. I gotta go mow an entire park in the next 2 days.
One final question just before we go. Oh my god!
Oh my god! That's even worse.
I love
hang on.
you.
You
oh my
love
god! No.
Me. We're a happy family.
My ears are bleeding.
There is actually a picture of me floating around online in a Barney outfit with my nephew on my lap.
Oh, damn.
My nephew's first birthday. Now, my nephew is like almost 30 years old, but for his first birthday, I had to dress up as Barney in a suit that we borrowed from my cousin's friend. Now, the Barney head is huge, right?
Yeah.
So up inside the nose part, there's a dried loogie that I was looking at the entire time.
Oh my god.
And we had to stuff, because I was thin at the time, we had to stuff that Barney suit with like comforters and pillows and stuff like that. Yeah.
Was it hot? I had to be hot wearing
Yeah,
that.
it was. It was October, but I was sweating my butt off.
Oh my god.
You know what you got to do, Tom, at some point? you're gonna have to do a very special episode of This Is Tom's World where the costume.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of This Is Tom's
You're
World.
like walking around like a park area wearing that thing.
Today, we're in
Oh
the
my
garden at
God.
Sorobia in the Chamonix State Park.
I wanted to get to this question quickly with Lawrence. Have any of you heard about the Peyton
Voila.
Landoff house in Williamsburg, Virginia? Not, you need to read about it. It's got photos from the outside. I don't know if I have heard of this place,
I haven't heard of
surprisingly,
that.
but
Oh,
I'm gonna have to. I'll definitely have to look that place up.
Hmm.
And you know what? And I'm ashamed to say right now, I'm kind of with Joe because I did grow up with Barney. I actually have, as crazy as it's gonna sound.
Oh,
I
no,
actually
he
still
sleeps
have
with
a
a Barney
VH
doll.
hey,
No,
Sammy.
I actually do have I do have a VHS of like one of the original specials they made back in the 80s. Obviously, we don't play it anymore, but since people don't use VHSs anymore, I keep it as a momentum from an era that's gone.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh God, no, don't play, no.
Listen, it could be worse. It could be the Lamb Chop song. This is a
Okay,
song
no,
that
no,
doesn't end.
Oh, do
Yes,
not
it
torment
goes
us with
on.
this. Do not torment us with this. Oh, here. I have this right here. There's a parody video from Smosh. They actually got like
It's coming.
here. There's this right here. Hang on. Wait.
Barney's
Oh my
coming
god.
for you.
Oh man,
Yep.
I remember.
He's coming to kill. He's coming to kill everyone.
All right, I'm gonna leave you guys to the show. I'm gonna get out of here so I can get to
Yeah,
bed.
just you, my friend.
Okay.
I'm gonna dream of Barney and Lamb Chop now.
Hey, you know
Yep.
what? I'm just gonna say this now, Tom. Tom, when you do your next episode, that new upcoming Barney episode with you in a costume looks really good.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, here. You are the best, Tom, with all your impersonations.
Lamb
Oh,
chops.
yeah.
Lamb chops.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. We really like it when you talk to us like that. All right. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.
You have a
Good,
great
Tom.
night, Tom.
Good night, everyone.
All right, have a good one. Hey, I just have a disclaimer said, kids, this is what drugs do to you.
Oh my god, Lauren is just killing it tonight.
Oh
Oh,
my
man.
God. Oh, so it was an anti-drug show all along.
Did you know that you guys know they brought it back, right? You guys
Oh,
know they
God.
brought it back? Well, let me tell you this. Whatever you do, and this is for anybody who grew up with it back in the 80s and 90s. If you want to keep that classic image of him from your childhood, whatever you do not look him up now, because I'm going to tell you this right now. He's no longer a guy in a costume. He's a CGI character now. And the first thing that I saw when I actually screamed, I was like, yeah, burn him, send him to hell.
Kill it with fire. Kill it.
Yeah, it's terrifying. It's actually, he's scary looking.
The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
Yeah, he is bad. He's really bad looking.
Oh my God. So yeah. So I wanted to go back to the film. So the piranhas, like when they're done with their carnage at the summer camp, they head right to the resort where the owner is like us. It's like the grand opening at this resort. The owner, played by Dick Miller, is conspiring with the government to cover up the piranhas. But, of course, the piranhas end up coming there and starting munching on people because, yeah, you think you think that stopping, covering the piranha, you think that was a good idea now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And
It
then
was
the
never a good
colonel,
idea to begin with.
yeah, and then the colonel gets killed by his own creation. You know, like one of the guys in the military, the government covering it up. Yeah, Colonel Waxman, I believe his name was. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then there was that doctor played by Barbara Steele, British actor who took part in the creation of the piranhas. So
Which
yeah,
another great horror legend, Barbara Steele, because she also, ironically enough, the fact that part of this was also done by Roger Corman, Barbara Steele was in a what's that?
Jeff the
Is that
Killer,
Jeff the Killer?
Jeff the
Oh my God,
Killer.
with Barney.
Jeff the Killer versus Barney the dinosaur.
Oh my god.
That's insane.
Oh.
But yeah, Barbara Steele, before this, she also starred a number of Roger Corman's movies too, back in the 60s, and still alive today and now in her mid 80s. So she's really she and Roger are pretty much the last of that original cast and crew that made all those movies back in the 60s. Everybody else sadly is dead, you know. Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, even Jack Nicholson starred in a few of them, and he at a very young age. I mean, he's still alive too, but still,
Yeah,
like all the others are dead.
Little Shop of Horrors. I remember that in the original one from 1960. He was 23 at the time.
Yeah,
he was young. Anyone know how piranha tastes? Just kidding.
No, just wondering.
Just wondering. Oh, sorry.
Sushi?
Can you eat them? Piranhas?
1 minute, Google. Can you eat piranhas?
She's fresh fish now. You know what? I actually did have some fish earlier today. It was fried.
Yes.
It was fried cod, though.
Oh, here. What do you say, Nikki?
Yes, you can.
You can?
Oh. Yeah.
Huh.
Apparently, it's a delicacy in the Amazon.
Oh, in South America.
Yeah.
Okay.
South America. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see how it can be a delicacy in the Amazon. Yeah, you're right.
Oh.
I'm sure something tells me they probably remove the teeth, obviously, you know, before cooking, just like they do with a lot of other types of like bone fish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, so am I. Look at those, man.
What's that?
No, I'm saying that Sarah was saying that now she was hungry. That's what I'm saying. Oh,
jeez. Those teeth, man.
I think he needs a dentist.
Yeah, clearly.
Somebody said earlier, who said it earlier? Something about piranhas themselves.
Yeah, saying that black piranha had like a bite force of stronger than alligator or something. Everyone starts ordering sushi now.
I actually don't eat sushi, believe it or not.
Nor do I. But I wanted to discuss the ending of Piranha. I want to discuss how it ended. So, Nick, we noticed like a few, like one or two errors, like factual errors in this. So the whole story about this resort is that they had to flood a certain area to create a lake, and the area that was flooded is where this smelting plant where our hero Paul used to work at before he got landed, before the government shut them down and then sold the whole place to that resort. But anyway, he realized, oh wait a minute, we may still have some of the waste from the smelting tanks that we could use to poison the river. So ties a rope around him and then goes into the water saying, count to 100 because that's how long I can hold my breath. It's definitely been more than 100 seconds that he's been under that water.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody can really hold their breath that long. There's no way I can, at least.
No way, me neither. Yeah, and of course the piranhas. So he goes inside of. Oh wait. Oh,
it's the black piranhas again. Yeah, geez, they got quite a vicious appearance.
And you can buy them on. You can buy them as pets. They're $59.85.
Seriously, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I can just imagine like if you had like some type of fish food for them, and you try getting them, I could see them jump up and just like biting your fingers off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just right now. I'm just picturing on the back wall right there. Like, I was wondering if I should get a fish tank, but now I'm just picturing like piranhas inside that fish tank, and like if I ever finish like a steak or something, they could have my scraps.
Wow, gigantic black piranha arrived.
Yeah.
Those look like they can get really. I mean, I don't even really have to say, but that looks like they can get really big.
A pet for Wednesday.
She had a whole bunch of them in the first episode that she used to
That you did.
attack the bullies. It's too bad she didn't use those.
Yep. She should have contacted people in this movie, you know, those genetically mutated piranhas. I'm pretty sure they would have done a much better job.
Yeah. I'm still trying to look for that comment. I don't know who said it though. It was about the bites from a piranha.
That was the best.
They're not
scene,
cheap,
yeah.
but
Oh yeah, I'm sure you said they're like $60.
apparently in the US they between $75 and $165.
Jeez.
Man.
Here's what I was looking
Jeremy.
for. Oh, hey Jeremy.
Hey,
Here's what I was looking for, by the way. Black piranhas have jaw strength 3 times stronger than an alligator. So that's got to be a pretty powerful bite.
Yeah. So, in other words, if you do end up getting a fish tank and putting these things in, don't stick your hands in.
Wear like work
your hand.
gloves or something. Yeah,
Or your
like the
hand.
work
Yeah.
resistant gloves.
You know. Apparently they grow up to 12 inches long full grow. Apparently.
Wow.
A foot long, huh? Wow.
That
Man, that was
pretty
a
much
big
tells you they don't mess around when they get to full size.
That's crazy.
That is a big mother plucker. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, they sounds like they'd be huge. I mean, oh man, like I'm just picturing 1 foot piranhas and oh my god. Yeah, because like I wonder what with more think about these piranhas, I just wonder what type they were originally before they were mutated. Probably the black piranha. Yeah, but so wanted to finish up talking about the ending. So when Paul finally gets into the control room, which was flooded by the water, you know, they when he tries to turn the valve to release all that toxic waste, the piranhas, of course, get in through the wind and attack him. And right as he like accomplished his mission, like and Maggie at the top says, "Okay, I got to 100." Pulls him out, and at first you think he's dead because the rope that he was tied to got snapped, but then he raises up a bloody hand out of the water. And you think about, oh man, that all that toxic waste stuff flooding that water, killing all those piranha. I'm just thinking, wow. So in the end, environmental pollution saved the day.
Yeah, indeed. Even though it's never a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine back then in those days, it would take years to decontaminate that water.
Yeah, I remember saying, Don, I'm sure it was going to be like the East River of Texas. You know, like in New York, they have the East River that's like the most contaminated river in the eastern seaboard.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it probably won't be long. I'm making a joke reference. It probably won't be long before, if anybody knows this, I've ever watched this, someone like Kramer did in that one Seinfeld episode where he swam across the East River. It was, it's like the most, he's like, I remember the episode, like he goes sees Jerry Seinfeld at one point. He's like, what does that smell? He's like, that's East River. He's like, you're swimming in the East River, the most contaminated river on the eastern seaboard. He's like, well, technically in Norfolk, they got more tonnage. And they're like, how could you swim in that water? And he's like, and Kramer goes, I saw a couple other guys out there swimming. It's like, well, floating. They weren't moving much, but they were out there.
Good God.
Yeah, they weren't moving much, but they were out there, though.
Reminds me. What is it? Oh, that's
Whoa.
That's Jeremy Wade.
Yeah, it's the biggest piranha apparently.
Let me full screen that. Can you put that back up again, Nikki? Wow.
That is a monster.
Huge.
The teeth on that thing. Man.
Yeah.
Those will just shred you up in a heartbeat.
Man.
This one actually scares me more. Hang on, Nick.
Holy crap. Hang on, wait.
Those are some long teeth.
Wow. They're like vampire-like teeth.
Man.
Yeah, if I saw that, bye.
Imagine that. Again, imagine that piercing your skin.
Yeah, like I've actually been trying to catch a certain fish that has big teeth. I think I mentioned this before on here. Up in our lake house, there we have there. Well, the biggest thing you can catch in this lake is the northern muskie, and those things got some teeth like no one's business.
Yep.
And yeah, I have yet to catch one, but I will. I will one day. I will. I feel like Captain Ahab going after the white whale.
No worries. Sure, anytime.
Spot looked like the Goombas from the first Super Mario movie. Oh my god!
Man. Are you wait,
He's
Jeremy? Are
actually
you
called
referring?
an empire fish.
Yeah, seriously.
So, Jeremy, are you referring to the one from 30 years ago? Because if so, oh my god, that movie is
I'm
trash.
sorry for you then.
Snakehead?
Snakehead.
I don't think that's a snakehead.
No, full-grown teeth. Snakehead is tasty. I don't know what is that like a type of fish of
Yes,
some
it is.
sort or
Yeah, it's they're considered aggressive, but I don't know about that.
he just says here fishy, and all those giant monster fish jump in. And I'm sorry to tell you this, Don, but Jeremy's referring to that movie. Jeremy, all I'm just gonna say is I'm sorry.
Yep, I saw that movie, and I saw oh man, Dennis Hopper in that as the villain. And I'm just like, I was like, okay, seriously, his role in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 was an upgrade compared to this.
You know, and I'm gonna say this now. I've seen it, but since it was so many years ago, I've managed to successfully forget about it. So the memories from that is officially gone, and I don't want it coming back.
Well, Nick, like I said before, like the only movies that I do forget are the ones that I choose to forget. Like I chose to forget Son of the Mask. Thank God. I chose to forget Slender Man.
With the exception of the actor who plays Slender Man. That's
Yes.
the only good thing out of that entire movie.
And Joey King, she's a great actress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I chose to forget I mean, let's see. I want to say House of the Dead, but I tried to actually remember that so we can cover that later on, just so that I can tear that movie apart.
You know what? I just feel like now we're like in a special segment of the show where we're trying to talk about things we want to forget.
Yeah.
Like this should be like the forget segment.
Have you watched Red, the movie? With
Which movie?
Red.
Wreck? Oh yeah, Wreck.
Red.
Oh yes, the
With,
one from Spain, right?
This one. Oh, Red. Oh, I thought you said Wreck.
Oh, Red. I thought we thought you said Red. I mean Wreck.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay.
Bad
yeah,
movie.
no, I haven't.
Good night, Sarah.
Oh, bad movie. Yeah, I didn't hear good things about it myself. Like I came across it on like one or two stream services, but never watched it.
Yeah, no. This is how
I
I
don't
killed
get
her. There's
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
I always Sarah is heading out, so take care, Sarah.
See you, Sarah.
Yep. Take care, Sarah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jill's gonna order some fried fish. You're welcome.
Happy to help. Yes, and yeah, I think next week we should cover Piranha 3D. You know, because all this talk that we've done about it, like, yeah, we got to cover that one because that also had a positive impact on the world, which is more than I can say for that god awful sequel that was called Piranha 3 Double D. I'm just like, really?
I actually want to bring something else up. I should have told you about this earlier, Don, but before we get off here too, by the way, there's actually something I would like to present very quickly. It's actually one of those stories that I know it's been a long time since I've told a story, if you will, involving something dangerous in the water. It's just I think just a minute. Yeah, it's just a minute video, but I thought I'd play it for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, it's narrated. It's from the book Nightmare Soup once again, and it is narrated by Adam, believe it or not. So I think, you know what? In fact, now that I think about it, Oh, jeez. Jill. In fact, I think this is going to be Lauren's first time ever hearing this because I don't think she's ever seen any of the stories that I've done my audiobooks. So allow me to tell a very creepy story about why there are certain things you just don't want to be in the water for. And well, the story is called, believe it or not, No Swimming. So here we go.
No swimming. It was the middle of August, and the Midwestern heat was almost unbearable. Luke wiped the sweat from his brow and took a big gulp of soda. I can't take it anymore. It's 97 degrees and feels even hotter than that. We have to go swimming or something. Isaac agreed. Oh, what about that pond over by Mr. Riley's house? It's the closest thing around. Luke hesitated. I don't know, man. I heard he doesn't let anyone near that pond. There's a bunch of no trespassing signs and no swimming signs all over the property. Do you have a better idea? Fine. Let's go. Luke finished his soda, and the two headed down the road. The two took a little-known path through the woods and hopped the fence at the edge of Mr. Riley's property. Luke glared at the gigantic no-swimming.
Wait, what happened here? Hold on 1 second, guys. Something went wrong. That's weird. That's never happened before. I know I converted the video fully to 2 minutes. I actually thought it was just a minute. Okay, so it was 2 minutes actually. Let me I'm going to try. I mean, Don, if you want to finish up with what you're saying, I'm going to try to fix this. I don't know what went wrong here, but let me try to re-export it. That's never happened before.
That's weird.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So, like the piranha in this movie, like what makes them unique is how intelligent they were. Like, because there was like one part where they tried to go past a dam, but that releases like water into the other side of a river. But then our heroes, like Paul and Maggie, stopped them like the ranger from opening the dam to let the piranhas in, but the piranhas found a stream that could lead to the other side of that dam. So, yeah. So the piranhas finding their way around obstacles. I'm just like, oh, that's pretty unique because my family's fished for decades, and I can tell you from experience, fish typically don't think of much other than feeding and reproducing, and that's it.
Just like any type of aquatic species, that's how they usually what's the word I'm thinking of?
Function.
Basically how they live their lives practically.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got it fixed up. It's generating right now, so I'll be another minute or so. So Don, if you want to continue on while I'm getting this taken care of.
Yeah. Piranhas will give some people nightmares because they watched Piranha. Pretty much the same reason why people have bad dreams about sharks because they watch movies like Jaws or Open Water or Deep Blue Sea. The Reef.
The Reef, especially. I mean, it's just like any other film out there that like revolves around certain things that again exist. That certain unknown. Types. I mean, maybe not unknown, but like an unknown member of the species that acts differently from its fellow species, I guess, if that's the best way I could really put it. And it's not acting like it should normally act.
Yeah. Oh, or Anaconda. Hey, Nick, have you seen Anaconda?
I know I don't know if I've seen like Anaconda, like the first one, but I know I've seen one of the sequels.
Oh yeah, the sequels are terrible.
Yeah, I know, and I'm ashamed to admit it.
Yes, but the original one was like the only one that's really worth seeing if you want a campy good time because it's got a surprisingly good cast to it. It's got Jennifer Lopez, Ice Cube, Owen Wilson, John Voight. Yeah, quite a few big names. Yeah, and Danny Trejo in the opening scene.
All right, yeah. I believe I got.
I was about to say, Nick, I was about to say, Nick, if you ever want to see Danny Trejo without a mustache, then watch the opening scene of Anaconda.
That's got to be quite an interesting scene without his iconic mustache that he always has.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I mean, it's sad that I've seen the sequels, which are bad, but I'm gonna have to check out the original.
The effects in it were fairly decent.
Yeah, compared to the later ones, yeah.
Oh god, that CGI in the third film, I was done after that. I was just done.
I got the video up. Now I got the full thing. It's actually 2.5 minutes. So if you don't mind, Don, I'm going to play this very quickly. So
Okay.
let's try this again. Let's try this again.
Okay.
Here we go.
No swimming. It was the middle of August, and the Midwestern heat was almost unbearable. Luke wiped the sweat from his brow and took a big gulp of soda. I can't take it anymore. It's 97 degrees and feels even hotter than that. We have to go swimming or something. Isaac agreed. Oh, what about that pond over by Mr. Riley's house? It's the closest thing around. Luke hesitated. I don't know, man. I heard he doesn't let anyone near that pond. There's a bunch of no trespassing signs and no swimming signs all over the property. Do you have a better idea? Fine. Let's go. Luke finished his soda, and the two headed down the road. The two took a little-known path through the woods and hopped the fence at the edge of Mr. Riley's property. Luke glared at the gigantic no swimming sign posted next to the water's entrance. Luke, let's go, Isaac beckoned. The two jumped in the water. It was the perfect temperature, cool and refreshing. Isaac floated blissfully on his back. This is exactly what we needed. Suddenly, the two heard screaming from the edge of the water. It was Mr. Riley. He looked more terrified than angry. Boys, get out of the water now! Swim! Hurry! Luke heard a loud splash about 50 feet away. A large webbed fin was heading toward them, and giant tentacle-like whiskers protruded from the water. Isaac, swim! The two boys kicked as hard and as fast as they possibly could, trying to reach the small dock where Mr. Riley was standing. Luke was well ahead of Isaac. The fin grew closer and closer, and then it disappeared beneath the water. We're almost there! Swim faster! There was a loud splash and a blood-curdling scream. Isaac disappeared. Mr. Riley continued to yell. Luke was almost to the dock, his heart pumping in panic. Mr. Riley knelt down and reached out. Grab my hand! Luke extended his arm, grasping for help. Just as he grabbed onto Mr. Riley, another splash occurred. Mr. Riley fell backwards and looked down in horror. He was holding on to Luke's arm, but the rest of him was gone.
Wow. Man.
Wow.
Scary stuff.
Man, that was insane.
So, see, this is what I love about these audiobooks that I've put together, including this one, which is the most recent one, getting like all these different paranormal podcasts, show hosts together to do this. Don, of course, you did one, and I'm hoping to do something like this again real soon. Nikki, of course, I'd like to get you involved in this. So, if you want to read a story.
Sounds good.
Very creepy stuff. And I got to give it to Adam, for the sound effects that he added to that. That was amazing.
Oh, see you, DJ.
Take care.
The CGI in the third Anaconda. Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Yeah, Nick, seriously, like out of all the Anaconda movies, the first one is the only one that you should see.
I hope so. I really hope so. Because I like, and you know what? It actually does. I mean, not necessarily that it's based on a true story, but it is based obviously on a cryptid in this case, which Don, you probably would know from one of the other shows. Lost Tapes, Megaconda, and there actually have been reports of like giant anacondas, like longer than the average anaconda. So it is based on pretty much another legendary cryptid.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they have those, Chill. I'm not sure. Titanic was, but at least tell me that you've seen. You were telling me that you haven't seen Deep Blue Sea, but at least tell me you've seen Lake Placid.
Have I seen it?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think I have yet. Wait a minute. Let me look it up because maybe it'll give me a reminder. Have I seen it? What's okay? So from the late 90s.
Yep.
Yeah.
It came out in 1999. It came out in 1999. I know this because when I went to the theaters in 1999, my family took me out to see Disney's Tarzan, and right when we walked out of the theater, I noticed a huge poster, a huge length poster that had a huge crocodile in the background and a woman in the water in the foreground with the title across saying Lake Placid. That was the first time I heard about that. That was my first time hearing about that movie.
Okay, so it came out the same year as Deep Blue Sea, and well, I'm sorry to say, Tom. Oh my God, it's been a long day for me. Yeah, I'm sorry to say, I don't think I have seen Lake Placid. Yes, it is getting longer.
Yeah, it's
you know what?
available.
Actually, now that I think about it, I should have watched it earlier today because I don't know if you guys have ever had this issue, like when you have recordings on, like with the way how recordings are on TV, like you'll have like a whole bunch of them, and when you check back on with what you recorded, it's like not necessarily you lose them, but you only have like a few left, but the rest of the recordings are there. You guys ever had that problem?
I think so.
Like if you have like 50 programs that you recorded, but then when you go back at some point, there's like only 8 of them.
It's available on this streaming app called Tubi.
Yep, Tubi. I know what Tubi is.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, surprisingly, they got some good stuff on here.
It's great. I love it.
Oh yeah, well, Lake Placid's on Tubi. You have to see it if you like. Because the crocodile, the crocodile in that's and the animatronics, all of that was done by Stan Winston.
Really? Well, it's not surprising, especially for a movie like that. But what I was gonna say was like these recordings I'm talking about. I went on to the menu like with everything we recorded. It showed everything, and it actually went as far back as to like movies I recorded around like Fearfest, like around Halloween on AMC. Yeah. And I was deleting all these movies because I thought, well, they're going to be back on again, later this October. I'll watch them again. I think among one of the movies I deleted was Lake Placid. So I had it on my recordings, but I didn't even think to watch it.
You need to watch it.
Yeah, I know. We can watch. I should have. If you told me earlier in the day and you asked me, I probably would have saved that one.
You need to but yeah, just go on to Tubi. You'll see it there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tubi is fantastic.
Beneath ain't too bad, I think. Beneath.
Oh, I think she's referring to the movie Beneath.
Wait, was it released in 2015?
Sorry, what was that, Don?
Wait, what was that?
I don't know what that was. What was that?
That was weird.
You heard that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's let's see. Beneath is it's 2013 it came out.
Oh, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. I wasn't a fan of that movie.
Yeah, it's with a man eating catfish.
Yeah. It's like sure, the effects in that were good, as far as practical effects go, but as story-wise and character-wise, I didn't like the characters at all.
Isn't it like supposed to be like it's supposed to take place like in the 60s, I think?
No.
Was it? Because I just looked it up and it said something about where the hell did it go?
Apparently it's based on a true story.
Oh, that's what it says here on the Wikipedia page is that Beneath is comic also titled Beneath explores the backstory. Oh, okay. So you know what?
Yeah, you're thinking of backstory.
No, yeah, there's a comic that was released that same year. It explores the backstory behind the catfish and details another group that the giant fish attacked back in the 60s. So it's been around apparently for 50 years, starting back in the 90s. So the comic is a prequel, taking place in the 1960s.
I remember when this movie came out. That movie came out 10 years ago, and I was disappointed.
I think I do remember that too, but I never saw it.
Oh, here.
Sorry.
Rogue is a way better options for is way better opinions for Killer Predators. Yes, Rogue, you got to see, Nick. That one is also an Australian horror film. It's also inspired by true events and has a good cast and a really impressive CGI crocodile.
Oh, is that right?
Yep. It's inspired by the crocodile that was called Sweetheart, who had attacked some boats in the 1970s.
Okay.
Yeah. In the Australian outback. They captured Sweetheart, but it died when they tried to transport it. So its body has been, its corpse has been preserved and is now on display at a museum. So I keep forgetting where in Australia it's at.
You know where that could be, probably, Nikki? Oh, she's looking it up. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's Rhoda Mitchell's in it.
Well, while she's looking it up, I thought of another movie, and this is a terrible film, but I'll still bring it up. Don, you and I have talked about it. It deals with, obviously, another killer crocodile, and that's undoubtedly Primeval, which that one takes place in Central Africa, which is based on Gustav.
Yep.
Right, that was weird.
What happened? What was weird?
The whole screen just went black.
Oh, really?
Yikes. And Nick's upside down and you're sideways.
That's weird.
Yeah. Nick, it's this movie.
Yeah, it even came out the same year as Prime. You know what? Actually, I do recall hearing that when they released Primeval, they were actually going to release Rogue around the same time, but they had to push back Rogue due to the fact that both movies had very similar plots involving giant killer crocodiles. So,
yep, except Rogue is way better than Primeval.
Yeah, Primeval, I haven't seen. I remember the commercials and the trailer for it, but, it's just crazy how they're even. Jill thinks Primeval is a good one, too. Seriously?
Huh?
I mean, yes, it's based on Gustav, which, if you guys didn't know, supposedly Gustav has been shot and killed, but there's no true evidence to say that he's been killed and captured because no body's been discovered. Nobody has ever came forward of saying who killed him or even though they say shot and killed, they don't even know even if he was killed, if he was actually shot, because Gustav actually has 3 bullet scars on different parts of his body. So he has been shot previously, but...
Oh, yeah. People have been trying to kill him for decades.
There is that one good line I will say from the movie. I remember from the commercials where one guy says that, he said, I shot him again and again. He refused to die. That's like the only good line out of the entire movie. And that's kind of the case with Gustav, is people have tried shooting at him, but he refuses to die. And there's a popular misconception with Gustav that supposedly they say he is a 100-year-old crocodile. It's relatively unlikely that he's that age, because for a crocodile to live over 100 years of age, believe it or not, like people, he would have lost a lot of teeth. He wouldn't have as many teeth as he does now. But they are giving the possibility that Gustav is well over at least 60 years old. So he's probably been around for a long time, but considering he still has his teeth, they're giving the age to him that he's at least about 60 years old. And some crocodiles can live very long lives.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. So, guys,
he's in Northern Territory.
Oh, Northern Territory. Okay.
Oh, Northern Territory. Yeah, there was a museum there. That. Yep.
Oh wow, there it is. Yeah. See, I'll zoom. I'll lay out for you. Yep, that's Sweetheart.
Yeah, Sweetheart on full display.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Hi. Nick, do it again.
Here, zoom in again.
We're
Nick?
good. Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me send it. Let me zoom in one final time.
Okay, here he's zooming. Here.
Check it out.
Wow.
Those jaws, though.
The big boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Sweetheart was a big guy. No. Oh, here. Jill is saying she enjoyed Crawl. Yeah, I saw that in theaters. I actually like that one.
Yeah, Crawl. Wasn't that the one with the hurricane in it too?
Hurricane and alligators.
Yeah, it was. I think it was more alligators and crocodiles. But yes, I've seen Crawl. That was a good film.
Great one.
Yep.
Oh, here.
Yeah, and I wanted to share this one so you guys knew about this.
So he can watch it later before he goes to bed. Oh yeah, prepare to be traumatized, Nick.
Oh, what do we got here? Oh, is this Crawl?
No, that's so you can actually. It's in Cairns. You can actually zip line across a crocodile infested.
That is crazy.
That's insane.
And then there's the hotel underneath it.
Wow.
We stayed there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you know of like when people have done it? Have you heard like any accidents that occur where they actually like have bitten people?
No, they pretty tamed ish.
Okay.
What the? I would not be doing this one though. Hang on.
What?
What's this thing? I'll zoom in again. Whoa! Jeez!
What?
Putting your hand right in its mouth.
Alive.
That is unbelievable.
That is nuts.
You can go diving with it, and they put you like in this big white clear tub type of thing, and you go underneath it. And
there's a movie that doesn't fully involve alligators. It's just only in one scene. But Don, I've told you about this. This is actually from one of my favorite movies, although it's actually a sequel to the original.
Yeah.
Is when I brought up that movie Sinister.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Sinister? You saw the sequel, right? Sinister 2? Okay. Do you remember that first film they showed in that movie?
Yes.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if you guys have seen Sinister as well as its sequel, Sinister 2, they have those eerie snuff films that they were showing. In the second one, the first film that they show within the movie was because it's involving the ghosts of those kids that are minions of that pagan deity Bagul. And the first film they show in the second one is a family, which you can clearly tell takes place down in the bayou of Louisiana. And just typical lifestyle, Cajun lifestyle of a family at first, catching fish. And of course, during in between, if you remember in the first movie, they're at some point drugged between the film. And the next thing you see them hanging upside down in the swamp at night. And there's alligator, and they got like the bags over their heads. They're tied up.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you see alligators start swimming around the bayou because the bayou is notorious for the alligators at night. They take over the swamps. So as you can imagine, they're hanging upside down with bags over their heads. They can't see what's going on. They're drugged. And the next thing you see is one of the scare moments. One of those alligators jumps right out of the water, grabs one of them, and basically like jumps out, grabs one of the family members, bites down, and literally like rips their heads off.
I remember that. Oh, here. I think Lauren is to sign off.
Yes. Lauren was actually messaging me privately in the chat. She was talking to me more about the Peyton Randolph house. It's actually, if you don't mind, Don, I'm just going to share this very quickly. It's okay. Actually it's a very haunted building, but it's also a very beautiful building, though. You guys got to see this for yourselves. Check this out. I'll just put it up for just a second. Look at this.
Man. Wow.
So that was her during an investigation there. But she, as beautiful as the building is, she says it's actually very haunted. So because it's caught my attention, I'm probably going to be eventually considering about doing an episode of Nick Files on this place. So it looks like a location that needs to be talked about. So yeah, I'll add it to the list, Lauren.
All right. Oh, wow, nice. All right, so I think we're gonna have to wrap this up here, because I gotta get some sleep. So this was a great discussion. We all had Piranha, like one of my favorite cult films of the 70s. Yeah, this was glad I finally introduced that to you, Nick.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
Now I need to introduce you to Deep Blue Sea, Rogue, and Lake Placid.
And I need to show you Joe Dante's other movie, The Burbs.
Yes, for sure.
So that's the reddest. Yeah, I know. It's like
the
so
Karen
red
Knight story.
looking. No?
Yeah.
What's that, Nikki?
And the Karen Knight story.
Yeah.
Kathleen
Yes.
Knight, sorry.
I still want to put you on the other show, the crime show, because I know we were talking about it before. I'll talk. What I'll do is I'll talk about it with Lois and see if we can schedule you on for that episode.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Nice. Okay. Well,
guys.
hope you guys.
Yep.
Good night, Nikki.
Nikki, do you mind if I call you after the show? Because I wanted to give you an update about what's going on with Night Watchers, trying to bring you guys on to the network. So I'll give you a call right afterwards. But just before we get off, just want to go quickly with the announcements for this week for the other shows that I do. So for starters, as far as Nick Files, there is no Nick Files tomorrow because I'm actually going to be a guest on another paranormal show that I've previously been on. Yeah, we miss you too, Joe. Hopefully you'll come back real soon.
Yes.
So anyways, yeah, like I said, tomorrow there is no Nick Files. We'll be back next week with it because I'm going to be a guest on another show. I'll be a guest on another show pretty much about an hour beforehand, and I just can't do two shows at once. I'm going to be on Paranormal and History with Scott Mathewson from Scotland, who, Nikki, if you didn't know, that show actually used to be on Things Network. So they didn't leave because of anything bad. They just wanted to kind of operate independently. But I know them really well. It'll be great to be on with. Yeah, it'll be great to be back on with Scott tomorrow afternoon, and then Thursday to the Grave and Back. I'm not sure if we're going. I don't know. I don't remember what we're going to be talking about on Thursday. But I know it was going to be something really interesting. If Lois was watching right now, she'd be able to tell me. And then that same day on Supernatural Talk, I believe it's just going to be an open mic chat again. I'm not sure if we're going to broadcast fully 2 hours like we did last week because, well, Nikki, as you know, we had Legion of Exorcists that was running on the Travel Channel, so I'm not sure if we're running the full 2 hours again. And then finally on Friday. On Friday, I'm going to be on. Well, we have Frighteners, obviously. However, I'm not going to be on for the majority of Frighteners on Friday because I'm actually going to be a guest on another show, which is Paranormal Mysteries. Which, Don, I thought I should tell you, they reviewed the video that we shot at Crown Point Jail when we captured that black mass.
Oh,
I actually sent it to them a week before. I sent them to their show last week, which. I wasn't able to watch it live because I was doing Frighteners, but I found out that they didn't watch the full video, which showed the shadow coming back. I was like, you should have watched the full thing because they ended it right after it went back up to the ceiling. But fortunately, they're going to have me come on as a guest to talk about the video.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm only just going to be on for just a few minutes, but then afterwards, I'll be back on Frighteners, and that's pretty much what's going to be happening throughout this week. So a lot of things coming up this week.
Okay, great. Nice. Okay. Well, this has been a great time, guys, but yeah, we're gonna end this podcast here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Share with your friends and subscribe to our channels. And so yeah, join us next week. Join us next week when we cover Piranha 3D. And
yes.
Yep. Till then, have a good week, everybody. Good night.
Have a good night.
Bye.